and learning. When children love learning, they can tap.
Littyyy Bros, Littyyy Bros, it's Littyyy Bro.
Maybe black means you're heavy.
I don't think so.
It look like LA lights, we dress like Miami Vice. It feel like NYC in the summer at night. This that big city energy, big city lights. This that big city life, this that big city nights. Concrete paradise, big city energy. This that West Side Highway at 5 in the morning. Sun's about to come out, I ain't even yawned yet. 120 uptown, headed round my way. Gentrifiers beware, don't come over here. 152 Cortland, don't go over there. RPT Belmont, don't go over there. The Bronx is killing niggas, wholesale, don't go over there. Nah, Rick Moretta's got punched in his face. New York City back, bitch, it ain't fucking safe. Don't go over there, heard? Nah, don't go over there, you heard?
Big BX, get on the block. Hey yo, G-Unit the bop. Hey yo, Uzi gon' rock. Lay low, don't fuck with the dots. Hey hoes, don't fuck with the ops. They know, they know, they know. Don't go over there. Oh yeah, they know. Don't go over there. Please, don't go over there. 196, please, wanna go? Please, that's what hell. Don't go over there. Sound you? Come on, don't go over there.
Brooklyn. Yeah. Look at me, it didn't look at you. You gotta move for me, I don't move for you. Nah. LA for breakfast, Dykeman for lunch. Yeah. Brass nuts stay pointy as fuck, I'm spiking the punch. Yeah. Modified toaster, swallow my whole day. Overqualified, I get the bonus. Yeah. Brooklyn's favorite best I voice, nigga. I don't have an inside voice now. Outside since a pandemic, yeah, kumbaya, enough transgression. Ducking the beach like I'm athletic, yeah. I fuck with who I fuck with, rap I fucking niggas up with bros, I fuck niggas up
Get
with.
on the block, hey yo, G-Unit the bop. Hey yo, Uzi gon' rock. Lay low, don't fuck with the dots. Hey hoes, don't fuck with the ops. They know, they know, they know. Don't go over there. Oh yeah, they know. Don't go over there. Please, don't go over there. 196, please, that's what hell. Don't go over there. Sound you? Come on, don't go over there.
Brooklyn, Far Rock.
Lullaby, good night. Rockabye, baby, yeah. Close your eyes real tight. Close your eyes real tight, yeah. I said twinkle in the sky. Above the clouds so high, your star is filled with light. Go to sleep, baby, Betty, bye. Yeah, I say, hush, little baby, don't cry. Dry your eyes, baby, yeah. Don't you ever cry. We gon' purge tonight, yeah. We gon' purge tonight. Kiss what you love goodbye, yeah. It's gon' burn down in fire.
Burn it down.
You're all gonna die, yeah, I said you're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die down here.
Rockabye, baby, yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Our Perspectives. We've got a full house tonight. We have Melz returning, rocking that New York Knicks jersey. As my understanding, the Knicks have not yet nicked. That's because I'm not really.
No, they're nicking. They're nicking real good right now.
All right. Then Baxter's with us again. It's always a pleasure to have him back. Littyyy Bro Flacko's here. You know, social media promoting the show in real time as we do. My name is Holden Stephan Roy. I'm not even gonna lie, this is a spicy week because, let's be real, last week we ended the show and then all hell broke loose in the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. So we'll definitely be getting into all of that, and that's probably going to take up the whole show because that much happened in the span of 7 days since we were last here doing this.
Unquestionably, we will be talking about this the whole episode. There's so much to talk about.
We are live and we do this every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can come tune in and join the conversation. We're also live over at Perspectives on YouTube. Make sure to join, like, comment, share with all your friends, and let us know what you think. Who's winning? Kendrick? Is it Drake? Which team are you on? And yeah, we'll get into our opinions on that very shortly. But first, what were you all up to last week? Melz, it's been a while. Tell us what you've been doing.
Man, my birthday, I haven't seen y'all since before my birthday. And I birthdayed the fuck out, okay? Lost my phone twice, got it back. Okay? I lost
my phone twice is crazy.
Yo, bro, let me tell you. First of all, I lost my phone Thursday, April 4th, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just walk around. I don't need no phone. I'm going to just wait till the Uber driver bring it to me. So Saturday is my birthday. I'm like, fuck that. I'll give you $100. When I tell you that Uber driver got to me so fucking quick, it made no sense. Got lit. Mind you, this is Saturday. Got lit. Took a few pictures, left my phone in another Uber. So now I didn't have my phone Sunday, Monday, and I didn't get it back to Wednesday, which was Eid for the Muslims. Shout out to y'all. So I had to go send an Uber to go get my phone. And I've been outside. It's been nice. I've been outside acting bad. 37 is 37. You know what I'm saying? It's been a hell of a month. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm home on a Monday. I ain't cooked in like a month. I ain't did shit in a month.
That's living the life.
Block, I see you set. You out here bluing.
Bluing and pinking.
It's giving gender reveal, my bro.
It was to match the fit for the birthday celebration.
Yes,
performance.
Which I didn't get an invite to, so fuck you.
Yo, I really thought that you saw it. There were several people that said that to me, and I feel horrible.
You should.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I thought that you would see it on social media and just be like,
no, I don't
like to hit people. I don't like to hit people in particular because then I feel like people feel pressured. And I'm not trying to put any pressure. I'm just like, if you can make it, you make it. If you can't, you can't.
Bro, I didn't know about it until I was on Instagram and Chloe posted something. And I'm like, this fucking fuckhead. Forgot all about it. But other than that,
the words.
And I kind of been a rock. I kind of been under a rock because I have yet to listen to any of these beef songs.
Oh, you have such a wild ride ahead of you.
I know. It's like sometimes my attention span don't be there, so I have to.
You need an attention
level
span.
Up my attention
it's
span.
It's now almost getting to be movie length.
Yeah, and also these aren't short diss songs. They're like 6-7 minute long diss songs.
Yo, that was the one
thing.
That's
probably why I ain't heard it yet.
That was the one thing that I was noticing. That I was like, yo. At one point, I think it was either Not Like Us or The Heart. I was like, they gotta stop with these 5 minutes.
Yo,
songs,
B,
bro.
make your point.
Like,
move
on.
Yo,
hit that 2 minute mark and let it go, bro. Let it go.
How bad you hate this motherfucker?
Kendrick really hates Drake like that.
6-7 minutes.
Apparently a lot. Hold on. Let's finish going around. Bax, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. Working at the shop. I'm trying to see if something happened in between last Sunday and this Sunday that's worth talking about. I don't think so. Oh, I saw Dune 2. That was, solid movie. I started watching the Pop-Tart movie, and that shit is horrible. Didn't laugh once.
Oh, you did.
I didn't
You
finish
started
it.
what?
My girlfriend came in and started talking to me, so I was like, "Let me pause this because I wanna know just how bad this shit is," and I didn't get back around to it. But it's not even horrible in a like this is bad way. It's in a mid way. It's like you guys. When I tell you there's so many comedians in that movie, and not one of them is saying something funny. Anyway, we'll get back to that. And then yesterday, EO Dub had our second Sunday open mic at Karma, and it was a vibe. It was Cinco de Mayo. We had a cannabis sponsor there, Kaliva. They came with free pre-rolls for everybody. They had this fucking bong gun, which was just blowing fucking weed smoke in people's faces. So everybody was high out of their mind. The talent was solid. My homegirl Renaps from Staten Island rocked out, bodied it. The Mudslingers rocked out, bodied it.
Word.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. And we're back at it this Sunday, which is Mother's Day, which is, Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day. So all of them are holidays.
Word.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo was Cinco de Mayo.
It was Cinco de Mayo. Also, shout out to Cinco de Mayo because I feel like it's not even about the Mexicans no more. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, don't do that.
I mean, it's always about the
Don't do that.
Mexicans.
Nah,
But I-
don't do that. Don't leave
but
them
I-
out
but
their own shit, bro.
I'm
You
not.
feel me?
I'm not. But I feel like the most celebrations because maybe I just haven't seen them. I'm looking like 4th of July comes around and everybody's barbecuing. I need more Mexican friends because nobody
you know what it is.
nobody
You know what
invited
it
me to
is?
shit.
Is that the Mexicans already celebrate on a that was like I was at the bar and grill around the corner from the draft house watching the Canelo fight and I was in there and I was just talking about the young Mexican kid fighting Canelo and I was just talking about how Mexicans be having a show. I'm just talking regular me loud and like one of the homies was like, hey, maybe you should chill. Like, there's some other Mexicans in here. There's like Mexicans in here. And I'm like, what am I saying? I'm not saying nothing wrong. They have strong chins. I wish I had a chin like a Mexican. I don't. I've been like hurt before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mexicans, it's almost like you can't hurt them. You have to disabilitate them in order to hurt them. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's like a compliment. Like that's not nothing to be ashamed of. And so like similarly, they just party all the time.
Right.
So like
Cinco
when
de Mayo
Cinco de Mayo
don't mean
comes
shit.
around, it don't mean shit. You're just like, the Mexicans are on the corner getting drunk again. It's not like, a special occasion. It's an everyday occasion for the Mexicans around my way. So,
Bonnie said
it's just
happy Cinco de Mayo to some Mexican guy at this Mexican restaurant we went to, and he gave her a fucking white people look. So
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you know what it is? Also, Cinco de Mayo is one of those holidays that like America and white people appropriated and made it into way more of a big deal than like Mexicans wanted to be. You know what I mean?
As they tend to
Mexicans
do.
are like, this isn't even Dia de los Muertos. This isn't fucking our independence. This isn't nothing that we genuinely care about.
Right, because it's
If I'm
also
not
like
mistaken, it's just the day where Mexico beat y'all in a war.
it's not their Independence Day.
They won something.
Because my shit is like imagine
it might have been
according to Wikipedia, it's a yearly celebration held on the 5th to celebrate Mexico's victory over the Second French Empire in the Battle of Puebla in 1862.
Definitely nobody's gonna give a fuck. They beat the French. Who cares?
Right.
You know
Everybody beat
I mean?
the French.
America's beat the French. It wasn't y'all. They beat the French.
America's like nobody cares about that shit.
Not
We'll
everybody
celebrate
the
drinking.
French.
And so even Mexico don't care, right? Because they're like,
No,
what? We beat the. They're like, we beat the French. No big deal. You know
what it would be like? It would be like if you were out of the country, right? You were like in another country. You were in like fucking Morocco, right? And you just minding your business, and somebody comes up to you and you're like, "Yo, happy Thanksgiving," and it's like, why?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm no place around my family. I'm not like cooking or celebrating, but like you feel the need to like wish me a happy my holiday that I'm not even like fucking with right now.
Or it
I don't
would be
even
more
care
like,
about
I
like
would say,
that.
because even
Like-
Thanksgiving has like a celebration. I would say this is more akin to something like
Happy Juneteenth,
Happy Remembrance Day.
Memorial Day.
Okay, no, because you guys have a big deal for that. For us, remember,
Not sure. We still got a runway to be able to like make Juneteenth a bigger thing. You know what I mean?
I don't want to make it a bigger thing.
Discount it.
I don't want to make it a bigger thing. I want Juneteenth to stay esoteric underground. I want us to celebrate it like personally when we see another black person walking, just be like, "Yo, happy Juneteenth." You know, whenever white people get a hold of shit, they're gonna start dressing up as slaves and slave masters and going on bar.
Oh my god!
Pub crawls.
Why did I see a
pub
meme?
crawls
Right?
is crazy.
It was
Right, they're gonna have.
That would be.
Juneteenth pub crawl.
They're gonna call it
crazy.
They're gonna call it the Underground Railroad, and it's like you have to sneak from one pub to the next pub. It's gonna have somebody have to take you, you know.
And you can only drink cognac.
And it's gonna be nothing but speakeasies. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be something that's.
That's the day. That's the day that they let their wives come out, and their wives got to catch them between bars and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be crazy. A pub crawl where if your wife catches you at the bar that you're at,
you gotta go home.
Anyway,
wasted. All right,
the opinions of Baxter, not the opinions of the.
Nah.
Okay,
all good. I'm cool.
Flacco, how was your week?
Fuck, man. I
It
worked
sucks.
some.
You celebrated a birthday without me.
I worked some. I fucking partied, and fucking Drake and Kendrick kept me entertained all fucking week. I hit you excited on text,
you
which I
texted me.
never do that. You know what I mean? I don't do that. But I was like, yo, because we had just been on the show the day before.
It warranted
So it
it.
was like-
It warranted the text. I was because even you was like, Kendrick. I was like, can you send me the link, please? Yeah, that was because he dropped. You know, as academics had just finished talking that nonsense. Kendrick, I heard Kendrick's not gonna reply.
Right. And so I had to text you. We'll get to it. It was I hung out at the bar both nights. I hung out with the bar homies. I got a lot of like stories that are related to his beef that I'll save for when we're talking about the songs. But yeah, I had a good weekend. How was your weekend? Or how was your week, Holden?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was just, out there getting my taxes finished up because I was late and finally got that done with. You know what happens is I got to wait on American companies to send me shit, and that takes forever because your deadline's after our deadline, so I just got to be waiting for Americans, which, fair enough. I don't know why y'all would rush for Canadians. But, I mean, fair enough and all. But, so got that done, and then instead of, like, really like expensive bad news, I got really good news, which put me into a great mood for the rest of the week. And then
if you were to talk to America's manager, who would it be? Would it be the president, or would it be like the manager at the company?
Good question.
Like,
it'll be
it'd probably be the no, it'd be the company's managers, right? Like, why don't you care? Why does your HR department not necessarily care about like us in general? You know, like
I felt Baxter felt like that was like Android energy. He was like, you know what, I'm out of this shit. I don't give a fuck about Canadian
Nah, it's
shit.
not that. I had nothing to add. I was gonna make a joke about how a Canadian waiting for an American to respond was what Drake was doing all.
Facts.
Good one.
That's a fact. But yeah, then I got called in to do merch at the Stove God Cooks show. So I ended up at that. And he came up to Montreal and did his thing as part of whatever tour he's on. And that was nice, a little quick bag out of nowhere. And then over the weekend, grinded out some Uber. And then I went to the weed store to recoup. Upon which, speaking of Pop-Tarts, I got free Bud Tarts because I spent more than $300 and got to spin the wheel. So, just because it felt relevant to the Pop-Tarts comment.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah. And then I went on the radio to plug my new song, which is dropping on the 10th. So by the time
I saw you on the radio on Facebook. I hearted the post. I tried to like I tried to like what you call it, but I was caught up.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair. It was just like, you know, the advertising. Hey, I'm doing things on a Sunday night instead of sleeping, which I really kind of wanted to do.
You should eat the Bud Tart and watch the Pop Tart movie.
That might be worth it. So it's that bad is what I'm hearing. But yeah,
I mean, it might not be that bad. I thought it was. I'm only halfway through, and I thought it was like not a single laugh was to be had.
Fair enough.
You called it. You called it. There was a bunch of stuff that I think that I like watched real quick. I watched that Paris series with Giancarlo Esposito. That was good. Wasn't that crazy? Shogun was fantastic. Did I talk about that? There was
A lot of people talking about Shogun.
There was something else that I watched that, like, when I was done watching it. Hey, Ms. B, what's going on? Babe, text me what we watched this weekend. We watched something. That I was like,
Baby Reindeer?
Nah.
Do you know about Baby Reindeer?
I watched Baby Reindeer. That was
Pretty
amazing.
Lit. I didn't get to the end of it. No spoilers.
It was an adventure. No spoilers. Adventure.
It's a true fucking story. That's the craziest thing about it.
It tackles some very mature themes in really well done ways, showcasing things that you don't expect to normally see in life. I was really impressed with this show.
It was also.
That's what it was. I just remembered it. I'm sorry.
No,
them. We watched them.
Oh,
we watched them. We watched them, and I'm really, really like, yo. I went and left. I hardly ever leave reviews on IMDb. I went and left a review. You know what I mean? It was fantastic. I watched season 1, and it connected season 1 to season 2, and it just ended really well.
Yeah, fair.
We also watched Cat Williams stand up, and Cat Williams stand up was mediocre as fuck. Woke folk. That shit was mediocre. I mean, he had some laughs here and there, but like for the most part, it was mediocre. We also watched the majority of the Tom Brady roast. Nikki Glazer, like, body bag, and some podcaster dude, Tommy something, like, was pretty funny.
Tom Brady?
Nah, not
roast?
Tom Brady. Like a podcast. Yeah.
No, I mean his roast.
The Tom Brady roast. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a couple funny people. I ended it on what's his name? Charlemagne's podcast partner.
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. I'm really not impressed by him as a comedian. Like,
I was originally, but now he's just like a smug white dude.
Smug white dude.
And that's the worst kind of white dude. Almost worse than racist white dude. Because racist white dude might be funny, but like smug white dude is just annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Boom. I think I remember what it was. Not I remember. The wife just texted me and I just saw it. We watched the American Society for Magical Negroes.
Oh, you were posting about that.
We watched
all we had to do was go back on his timeline, and we would have gotten the answer to everything he watched.
We watched it. Yeah, nah, man. Even at the end, when they try to like bring it together with a full moment, it's like, wah, wah, wah. Like, nah, fam, this ain't it. It had potential, but they fucked up the bag. Trying to like, make white people happy.
How'd Homeboy do?
I mean,
Black Michael Cera.
Yeah, you know, he's the Black Michael Cera. You know what I mean? So, like, he's a good actor, but also I have yet to get that moment from him in a movie that I'm like, this motherfucker is up next. Like, give him everything. This guy is the one.
Shout out to him for getting leading roles, though, you know?
Yeah. Shout out to him for that. I don't know how he got picked to be the leading role black dude. Bless his heart.
He got that Detective Pikachu role. That's how.
It was a big movie. You get to be
Detective
part of
Pikachu
my franchise.
I was like, fuck this shit. I'm watching TV.
No. I just muted it. Shut up.
Are the Knicks playing?
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
The Indiana Pacers. It's the game 1 of the series.
Nice.
Speaking of that, Chris and I went to a podcast recording where I also interrupted their live show by forgetting to mute my phone at the Many Vid studio, which is interesting because they be doing all that porn shit.
Nice. So you went to a porn podcast, is what you're telling us?
No, it was a regular podcast at a porn studio because Many Vids is going through a migration period where they're trying to legitimize in the way that OnlyFans wanted to legitimize via regular content. So while they're not like funding content, they're backing content and trying to get like exclusive details on their platform.
Holden, why do you bring up porn so many? No,
I live in Montreal, bro. That is weirdly way more. My city is like where Pornhub is. It's where porn happens. We're like the business of porn place. We're not the acting scene. Like that's all LA and Florida. We're like the web people.
All that illegality. All those sequestered women on video.
Who's still in the NBA playoffs? Knicks and the Pacers.
Shit, hold on.
But the Rangers are in the NHL playoffs.
I think this is the semifinals that they're in. So that means that there's about 8 teams left.
Yeah, pretty much. Knicks, the Pacers, the Wolves, the Nuggets.
The Mavericks, the Thunder, the Cavaliers, and the Celtics.
Yeah.
The Lakers are out of it, I'll tell you that much.
Yo, all of the teams people thought were going to be in it are out of it.
Sure. And Steph went home early.
Definitely. I haven't been paying attention, but like I could tell you, I could smell without paying attention, right? Sometimes it's good to like have an outside perspective. I could smell the new breed taking over the NBA.
Absolutely.
It's a whole ass rap for Steph Curry and LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Like their era is over and these young dudes are taking over and there's nothing that they can do about it. You got old. Sorry guys. You know there's young exciting talent in the game.
And you know what? And also the dominance that they would have had playing, like if any of those teams would have kept a consistent team that like learned how to play together for like a number of years. Anyway, you know who's the real loser in this year's playoffs? The state of California. Because you had many options to have like somebody in the playoffs, right? You got the Warriors, you got the Lakers, you got the Clippers, and then none of them made it. You know,
and you got the Kings.
And the Kings. What does New York have? We got 2 teams, and one of them is brand new. Well, they're not brand new, but like we got the Knicks and we got the Nets. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks.
Word, you have 4 chances in California. Baxter, that seeming mighty anti-Cali, and in the temperature now.
I'll make up for it with my Kendrick Lamar.
All right, let's move into Kendrick Lamar stuff. Basketball's happening. Y'all are still doing well in hockey too. In case you cared, you're still in it because the Rangers.
I only care when they win. If the Rangers win, I'm like, fuck yeah. You guys
swept Washington and you won yesterday, so you're undefeated in the playoffs. I think that's cool so far for you.
Hey,
nah. I'll tell you why that's not cool in New York. Because the Patriots were undefeated until they got to the Super Bowl. You know who beat them? New York City. So like undefeated in the playoffs don't mean shit if you don't win the cup.
But it's hockey though, so it's a different kind of playoffs. You're talking best of 7 situations where like being undefeated is a lot harder than in one-offs against different teams.
I'm just saying if you don't win the cup, what does it mean? Nobody ever talks about the fucking nobody talks about the people who like went undefeated for a season and then lost. It's like no, that doesn't matter. You got to win. You could lose every game except the ones that matter. And if you win the championship, you are a championship team. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question. Right. Who has the worst record of any championship team? You know, who was just like a dog shit team that merely squeaked by and won by a fucking the skin of their teeth? I want to hear that.
I don't know. Word. Yo, Miss B, just to let you know, Baxter's not being interviewed. He's just kind of a part of the cast of the show, and we're just talking about the stuff that happened in pop culture this past week, which is really just the Kendrick and Drake beat
that we're going to be
talking about.
But to answer your question, in 1977-78, the Washington Bullets were an NBA. Where they had a season of 4-38, and proceeded to Game 7 their way through the whole thing, narrowly winning with 105-99. Arguably, they've had the worst championship season.
And who did they beat?
They faced the Seattle Supersonics.
Damn. Fuck, shit sucks to be Seattle Supersonics in 19 whatever that was.
Is that even a
78. This is the olden times.
Yo, I always had.
That was the
theory.
last time that the Knicks won a fucking championship. Fucking 70.
Yeah.
I always had not even in our lifetime. I always had a theory that the reason the Bullets changed their name to the Wizards is because Michael Jordan refused to go from playing for the Bulls to the Bullets. He was like, nah. He was like, I need a different name.
Let's talk about the beef.
Let's get
What
into
beef?
it, yo.
There's a beef?
Yo.
Yeah.
I've been saying top 5 beef of all time. You know, I thought about it after I said it, because I initially said top 3 beef up there with Nas versus Jay-Z and Tupac and Biggie. And then I thought about it after I said it, and I'm like, Tupac and Biggie don't even belong up there. Tupac and Biggie was just death. There was no actual beef records. Like there was hit 'em up. Yeah. There was one-sided. It was one-sided. There was no Biggie had a bunch of subliminal shit all over Life After Death. Yeah. But like that's after the fact that we find it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like it wasn't an actual beef on record like that. It was.
But wait, before we give it top 5, let's also because 50 Cent and Ja Rule is
50 Cent and Ja Rule is
that's up there. You know what I'm saying?
That's up there. I put
let's examine some other ones.
Numerically, I put Nas versus Hove, 50 versus Ja, Drake versus
What about
Kendrick.
KRS-One versus fucking The Bridge Is Over goes hard
I'm
to
from the
this
Bronx. Don't
day.
get it twisted. Absolutely. I'm absolutely with all the fuck Queens smoke, right? But
hey, I'm from Queens. Let's
but
I gotta acknowledge.
I'm just saying, like,
yo, they play The Bridge Is Over comes on.
You gotta hold on, Baxter. You have to pump your brakes right now, my man. They just finished giving us 4 or 5 songs a piece. Like, bro, give them their credit. Like, nobody's ever done this before. Top Dog guys going at it, throwing
yo,
like
first of all,
whole ass songs out there.
First of all, 50 Cent and Ja Rule and them were releasing whole ass mixtapes that was shitting on 50 Cent and Eminem were releasing whole ass mixtapes that was shitting on Ja Rule and Murder Inc. Like if you would have put the you could do a playlist. That was
one-sided again.
You're right.
Ja didn't defend himself.
I mean, he tried.
Eventually,
he said, "Y'all want to see Tupac come back?" We were like, "No, we don't." We were like, "Absolutely not, Ja Rule."
But like, wouldn't it arguably be like something that has to be culturally significant? Like the Jay-Z Nas beef is like really talked about and really focused on by every group of people.
The Ja Rule 50 Cent beef is culturally significant. The KRS one
super culturally significant
because even though Ja Rule didn't necessarily fight back, it's still going on to this day because 50 won't let it die. Thus, I would say that beef also gets some points.
Speaking of beefs that going on to this day, Eminem and Benzino, and that had the whole source.
Come on,
nail in the coffin.
Top 5. We're not
nail in
the top 5.
There's
got to be
even
some
from, like Eminem opponents.
I
wouldn't go there as a white boy who used to geek on that shit. Like, come on,
never
Eminem
claimed
against
Bino, Ray Benzino,
83-year-old
fake.
Like his Everlast stuff and whatever.
Since I'm the one
I love the Everlast beef.
Right? Since
Like to
I'm
me,
the one that had
was...
the 5. Let me tell you, let me place them. Like KRS would absolutely be like, 6 plates. And then Benzino and Eminem is like, 12, 15.
What about Nelly versus KRS-One?
That's more like
number 1.
11 plates.
I know. What about Ludacris and T.I.?
I didn't even really know they beefed, so I don't think it can count if it didn't reach like the nerds up in Canada.
He said, "You versus me. That's ludicrous."
I'm mad at Holden trying to be like, if it didn't reach us, it don't count. Fuck out of here, Holden.
We say greatest of all time. It has to be global. It has
no, it doesn't. It's time, not globe.
Hold on. I think that the impact reach of the beef going beyond counts towards bonus points in this conversation.
Let's keep throwing some things at the board. What about Eazy-E versus Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Before my time, didn't really, you know what I mean?
What about Ice Cube versus Common?
Also was like kind of mad to me.
What about LL Cool J versus Cannabis?
That was more interesting to me.
I don't think that's one of the
knockout was like a
right. I think
like
that song
that's like 7th place, 8th.
That song is one of the greatest diss songs of all time.
Yeah.
The beef itself isn't one of the greatest beefs of all time.
It's not a great beef. No.
Who else been beefing? Mobb Deep and Jay-Z. Not really, right? Who else been beefing? Foxy Brown and Lil Kim. We leaving that out of this?
Lil Kim.
What about the Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim one?
Nicki and Remy.
Nicki and everybody.
Nicki and everybody.
Like, I would say like Nicki and Lil Kim's one was pretty big.
I would say
that
the Nicki and Remy mattered the most.
What song did we get out of it though?
I got Jesus Christ. Sheether. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
We got Lil Kim got Hot Damn Ho. Here we go again. Hot damn ho, here we go again. She was exasperated. You're like, here we go again.
Hot damn.
Also, that had a shootout in front of fucking Hot 97. That like fucking changed.
Yeah, that got like a whole. That's New York history. That beat.
Yeah,
Foxy and Kim. Yeah, that was a CNN Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
pseudo undertone beef that went down under the disguise of Foxy versus Kim.
What about Saigon and Prodigy? No, absolutely not. Who? Okay, let's think about who's relevant in rap. Like, who is Jay-Z beefed with besides Nas that might be relevant? Anybody? Jay-Z and Dame Dash? If Dame Dash could rap?
Well, what about like the Jay-Z and Kanye debacle when they kind of? I guess there wasn't really tracks in that, but they went at each other for a minute.
Nah, nobody ever rapped about it though. Kanye said, "My big brother was Big's brother," and then Jay-Z said, "Don't big bro me," and that was the extent of it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But did Kanye ever beef with anybody else on raps besides Drake?
Let me tell you something. We just got a top 5.
What about Pusha T and Drake?
Beef this last week. It doesn't touch this.
I don't know because I feel like
you gotta understand, like, this is at the level where like the Montreal Gazette is writing about it, like this is really impactful as a far-reaching, everybody gives a shit about it beef.
I just don't know. I also don't want to judge it by the standards of like, oh, TMZ and Elon Musk are talking about it, so it's super important. It's important because we said it's important. You know what I mean? And then also, it just so happens that everybody else in the world is paying attention. But,
I just don't know how well it's gonna age. That's the problem that I have with calling it like top 5 beef of all time. Because you know what it's like? It's like watching. Remember when there was a war going on that nobody was safe from, and Al Qaeda released the video of the motherfucker getting beheaded, and then people watch that shit. It's like, that was an important moment, but you never gonna go back and watch that shit again because it's just too gruesome. That's how I feel about this beef. I feel like, yo, when we get to like, it ain't even about rap skills anymore. Nobody's like, yo, I'm a better rapper than you. They're like, you beat your wife and you molest kids, and I'm like, I don't want to hear any more of this anymore.
That is a fact. It has changed beyond the rapping into the who is morally the worst person in the world.
And I don't think that's gonna age well. Like, I don't think like 5 years from now we're gonna be like, yo, remember Meet the Grams? You know, where like, I'll listen to Second Round Knockout right now. The Bridge Is Over still goes hard body in clubs. Even Take Over and Ether. Like, if you was in a club and they said fuck Jay-Z, you'd be like, oh shit, they about to play Ether? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you was in a club and it was like Meet the Grams, you'd be like, I'm leaving.
I really will say though. Sorry, go on, Mo.
He released a diss track too.
Who?
Chris
Melz.
Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, he
yeah.
Chris Brown did
let me
release
tell
a
you
diss
something.
track.
That moment is over and done with. Like
It
that,
is.
I told
It is over and done
people
with.
that shit was mediocre. People were trying to overhype it, and you know what? That shit was mediocre. I got into a whole argument with Sean's ass about this shit, Mel, because he was trying to claim that I was saying that it was fire. I'm like, I don't think so. That doesn't sound like me. Like, I never have said that Chris Brown's music is fire. You know what I mean? I've never been a Chris Brown fan like that. Man, I don't know, bro. I think that yes, some of these songs aren't gonna hit that hard past this moment, but I also do think that some of it will. Like I think Push-Ups
will.
has ability to live beyond the moment.
Yeah.
Like in the last weekends, there's been two situations. Like we were on our way to
and they not like us, absolutely.
To bowl down by like where the fuck we went? I forgot where we went. But the point is, we got in the car and Push-Ups came on.
Mm-hmm.
And these motherfuckers is like this motherfucker driving extra fast to Push-Ups, right? Like it's that one. It's like, oh yeah,
It's like,
oh yeah,
drop it,
give me
I just
50,
want to
nigga.
start singing with that shit.
You know,
I already be learning the words to it.
I don't know if like I also think, to be honest with you, I do think that not like us might survive the moment because people are seeming to gravitate towards it, and it's got a bop to it, and it's got a particular like swing
West
to it
Coast,
that's gonna make everybody be like, oh, we fuck with this way beyond this moment. The rest of it, maybe yes, maybe no, but regardless, we have a top 5 moment. Like it, I know that it's early to call. It feels like. But it's also like, yo, when you really look at all the moments that we've ever had, we've never had a moment like this in the modern era with the top dogs, and they actually went at it. Whether or not they went at it respectably, whether or not
I agree.
The quality of the stuff is going to last very long. They brought back an emotion and feeling that everybody's been wanting and craving. There's things about it that I don't like. Like, I don't like the same thing, right? Like, this became the battle of a pedophile versus a woman beater. And that is crazy. Like, that's just crazy. That's crazy. I blame, by the way, I blame battle rap. Battle rap is the reason that these angles are going the way that they
battle rap and Pusha T.
Yeah, but battle rap is the ones that opened up this like lane of like, yeah, Inspector Gadget your way.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig into your whole yeah. I mean, I like battle rap. Yes, Pusha T. Yes, I don't disagree. I think the Biggie and Nas, the Biggie and Tupac beef still has to be up there because it changed, like it shook the whole industry. Like, you know, you're right. The battle itself can like it's just like 2.5 songs. You know, Who Shot Ya kind of counts, but kind of doesn't. But still,
listen. Look at you. If you look at it as like what do you call that? The fucking monument. I'm always Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, yeah.
Right. If we're looking at it like Mount Rushmore, I'm saying that my Mount Rushmore consists of Nas versus Hove, Biggie versus Tupac, Ja versus 50, and Kendrick versus Drake. And two of those, right? Biggie versus Tupac and 50 versus Ja is very one-sided. These are one-sided battles.
Yeah.
And then the other two battles are back and forths that like kept on going for quite some time. Like, I don't expect this to be over anytime soon.
Absolutely not.
I absolutely expect both of them to drop songs on their upcoming projects.
Right. There's no way that they never talk about this again.
They might release more songs in the coming days and weeks. Like,
certainly
I don't see it being over at all. I keep on seeing people trying to call it. People are like, "Oh, Kendrick won, Drake won," and I'm like, "Yo,
why do people do that shit, yo?"
Have none of you ever seen an actual fight in real life? Because let me tell you something. If you've seen a real fight in real life, you know what can always happen? You get knocked the fuck out by one fucking drunken a disorderly punch in the last second of the fight. You know what I mean? Like I've seen so many fights where like you think somebody, you counting them out and you're like, yo, this motherfucker is getting his ass beat. Like, oh damn, it's over for him. And then here comes the like last second of the last round, and like the drunken, getting beat up person just lands the right uppercut or fucking hook and lights out for the other person. And I know there's a metaphor for that, but like it really is that, right? Like it's not over yet. Like the fight is still going on right now.
What does winning mean? Like what does it mean that like Drake won or Kendrick won? Like what are they going by? Because my thing is like my timeline is filled with people who are like just unabashedly biased to one or the other. Like mad people is like there's so many people fucking going through mental gymnastics to make a pedophilia or women beating okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, as long as they both have like the fan bases that they have, there is no winning. The only way you could win is if like they do like with Angie Martinez, the shit that, because like
the Battle of the Beats.
Because Jay-Z literally
but they're doing that, technically speaking. I guess the modern version of that are these Twitter polls.
But they're not.
And
I'll tell you, no, because why Nas came out of that like definitive is because Jay-Z put himself at the mercy of the outcome of that poll. Like Jay-Z was like, yo, I will say who won by what these people say. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then so when they said it, he had to answer for that. And he could just be like, nah, or accept it, right? And it's like neither of them are doing, like neither of them are part of these polls. Neither of them are saying like, oh, if people say this, I'll like whatever. So like they can just keep going for as long as they have the energy to go, and as long as their fan base has the energy to fucking stick up for them. Like, you know, there's been so many times like when push-ups and when Drake dropped what's the other one?
Family Matters.
Tailor-made freestyle with the AI.
No, Family Matters.
Family Matters. When Drake dropped Family Matters and I was watching that video, I was like, okay, Drake, this might be like you might have it, right? Because when he's fucking crushing the van from Good Kid, Mad City, and
allegedly,
he's like,
it's not the correct van. We should put that out there.
Of course, it's not. Who in their
right
mind thinks
it doesn't matter?
Right?
It's not the same van. It's not the same make and model. It don't matter to me. It's the metaphor for it. You know,
right? And
like,
also,
like the Eazy-E actor in the Dr. Dre videos.
That's
like,
not really easy, you know.
You know, like. You don't gotta tell me that's not really easy,
right?
Like,
but it's like it was a hard body like counter to what was going on. But Kendrick dropping like you know, and mad people calling it, oh fucking Kendrick, and like while you're calling it, Kendrick's dropping a fucking song. So it's like, just shut up and watch. No one can call this. Nobody can call this.
I will say my Facebook is littered with that shit. It's like, yo, Drake better respond within 24 hours or he's an idiot.
He don't got to respond.
He did, but they both did. Both these men dropped within the time frames given, and everyone just sitting there like, fuck this guy. He's never going to do it. And they all left the post up. And then they kept popping up. I'm like, well, here's the link. And then people are just commenting.
That's
like,
you know, and you know why? Because there's no consequence to being wrong. That's what's so wrong with so much fucking opinion-based shit. Is like people say all kinds of shit. You fucking what's homeboy's name? The high-valued man guy. That not Andrew Tate, the black dude.
I don't know.
Samuels?
Kevin Samuels. Yeah.
Kevin Samuels said all of that shit that he said. Died penniless. You know what I'm saying? Died no money in his bank account. And like, and people just pretend like everything he said is still fucking valid. People's like, oh, well, he still had a... No! When you're wrong, you're wrong. There's got to be like some consequence to that, yo. It's like, yo, fuck everything he ever said. He was lying. You know, it's bullshit. Like, he was wrong.
You could argue there is a consequence to it, right? I'll use Flacco as an example to this consequence. So, allegedly, where you choose to throw your affiliations is going to attract a certain type of crowd to you. So the consequences of clinging to being wrong is that you're going to attract a whole bunch of wrong around you and be stuck in environments and worlds that are not winning.
No, 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 no. You don't cling to being wrong. Like, there has to be accountability for being wrong. Like, to speak to Flacco, one of the things, like, when Facebook was a thing.
Say it, but those who are accountable, the consequence of being accountable is a higher quality of life.
Absolutely.
So there is a consequence naturally out there. It's just that most people don't call them on it. So like life will balance that out. The people who are always out there whining and talking shit, the more I keep my mouth shut, the better
miserable
I grow
usually.
in life and shit, you know?
Right.
Like, so I'm saying there is a
the
natural
consequence
order
is
of things.
what you build
And it's
for
based
yourself
on the
by
law of
bringing that
attraction.
energy into
Because
your life
when you
and shit.
out there wildly talking like fuck Drake every second minute, chances are you might not be getting laid as much as the guy who's not saying that, because chances are a lot of your female friends like Drake and you're just insulting their tastes.
And you know what's the
Shit
funny
like
thing
that.
too? When people are that biased, I'm like, do they not realize how like biased, like how it looks? Like when
How
you
it
are
looks. That's
when
what
you're
I
defending
feel.
when you're defending Drake in every like post you post, and like people calling Kendrick obsessed, and it's like, yo, your last 7 posts are about this battle and about you defending Drake. Like, what's more obsessed than that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just like to call it how I see it. And it's like Kendrick is just like, he's more consistent about his message throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's all about discipline and fucking being a good father and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Drake is immoral. That's Kendrick's entire argument in one nutshell, is Drake is an immoral, bad person. And if we want America to be great again in a proper way, we should not follow Drake. That is literally his point.
Right. And he doesn't like move from it. The thing about Drake is he's like all over the place. He's battling so many different people. He's saying so many different things. He's like responding to accusations in a way that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if somebody ever called,
if I actually did it, I'd go to be in jail already.
No. Oh my God! Don't ever say like. That's not how you respond to accusations about being a pedophile.
It's such a bad look. But I will say this also.
Unless you're
today,
a pedophile.
I saw a post from something that's going around, right? Because there's a whole bunch of stuff going around online, right? Drake having some underage girl on stage.
Yep.
A date that he went on with some young model.
Yep.
That he was friends with her. Millie Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like stuff floating around, but like I did see the girl that is from the fan that was on stage, like she spoke up and she was like, it was nothing then, it's nothing now. People are like blowing this up, and like it was his people that picked me out of the crowd. It wasn't him. It was just like a typical, artist brings up a person from the crowd situation. You know what I mean?
Also, I've seen wild white celebrities kiss teenagers on the cheek in the exact same moment.
Let's not.
And a lot of those motherfuckers are pedophiles.
Right. Yeah. Let's not do that either.
Listen.
I'm also not like, don't want to be confused with like, defending Drake, right? Like, because I could give a fuck less.
Right.
Either way. Charlemagne had a hot take on this that I kind of agree with, which was like, both of them are invalid. Like, neither one of them are doing this or saying what they're saying out of morality. They're doing it out of like benefit in a beef. You know what I mean? Like, Drake doesn't care about Whitney actually being beaten if she is being beaten, and Kendrick doesn't care about any underage girls. If either of them knew about this before this beef was actually popping off and they did nothing and they're saving it for like to mention it in beef, like, it's proof positive that their morals aren't like as centered as they like people to believe. You know what I mean? And I agree with that. Like, it definitely, like, for me, I was telling Penn earlier, I was talking with Penn about the whole thing, and I'm like, if anything, the only thing I hope to get out of this to like make this like really fully like, I enjoyed this entire movie beginning to end, 9 out of 10 would recommend type shit. You know what I mean? would be for me to get a song apiece from both of them, a diss song apiece from both of them, where it's none of this shit and it's just like why I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Like I'm better than you. I'm better than you, and this is why I'm better.
That's
than
what.
you.
That's
You know
the
what I
battle
mean?
that J.
Like,
Cole wanted to have.
That's like what I want to. That's what I would love to happen. Whether or not I think I'll actually get that,
No,
you know,
not after this.
I don't think so. I don't
Not
think
after
so.
this.
I think we're too far
Drake,
gone.
like, took that into a meme direction pretty much off jump. Like he made it more. He's made it more than the rapping the entire way through. Like my favorite part of this beef could possibly be how he tricked Kendrick into dissing Ross on his album cover. That shit cracked me the fuck up.
How did he trick him to diss Ross on album cover?
So they allegedly, I'm gonna go with allegedly. Then he planted all the information for the album cover. I don't remember which song it was. One of the song he pulled the cover for.
Yeah.
And on that, he had the Maybach gloves with the Ozempic that he planted in the information he gave to Kendrick. That Kendrick took the picture of and uses the cover.
Yeah.
So that would be
Maybach music with the Ozempic.
So he's dissing Rick Ross on Kendrick's album cover because of the planted information. That shit cracked me the fuck up. I really enjoyed these theatrics. But that's I'm saying I enjoyed these theatrics.
No.
I'm not saying I'm like the right judge of all of this.
No, I mean you're absolutely right that, and it is, but it's all a distraction from the art, and it's like.
I thought you were about to be like, yo, tinfoil hat. It's all distraction from the lizard government that's trying to take control of our brain.
It is that too. No, but to say it's like these guys aren't like Rick Ross control in a beef because he's not the greatest rapper out, right? Like Rick Ross, you better be like adding some like comedic spice. And even 50, who is like a dope rapper, isn't gonna like be everybody rapping, but he's got like that sense of humor that he adds to it that like gives it that extra like push. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Like you doing, if Drake really leaked all that information that like it didn't matter. It did not make the song Meet the Carters any less like potent. It didn't make Kendrick look foolish. It didn't like, it didn't like sway the people who were giving it to Kendrick at all. Like I hear people talk about it like, oh, it's crazy that Drake like tricked Kendrick. But it's like, first of all, if you trick somebody by planting vile information about yourself that comes off as believable, that's kind of not that big of a flex. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was
spitting a fact right there.
If I was in a beef with somebody and I leaked information that like, yo, Baxter likes to eat dog shit, right? And the motherfucker was like, well, Baxter does look like he eat dog shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I tricked you. And like what really turned out is like people think I eat dog shit. It's like, oh,
right.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
It's a bad look on Drake for like people being able to quickly be like, yeah, you know what?
Especially when it's something you've done already. So he's like, oh, I tricked him into thinking I was hiding a child. It's like, that's because you the type of person who be hiding kids.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie, this whole kids hiding thing, like I had made a post about it. I'm like, I really don't give a fuck. Like I think I might have kids in Chicago or New Orleans. You know what I mean? Condoms break. I was out of town the next day. You know what I mean? Like the if she's looking for the baby, if I was the baby daddy and she's looking for the baby daddy, she's looking for Antonio de la Vega. She's not looking for me. You know what I mean? She's looking for the code name I gave her, right? So like,
but the difference is you're not
fake. I don't care about fake baby. Fuck them kids. You know what I mean?
But see, that's because you don't care, right? Like the thing about it is if you're actively hiding it, like if you know the baby exists and you like paying money to make sure that nobody finds out about it, then you do care. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's a jab. Like even the
No, definitely there's a lot of like people are pointing out online all of the contradictions. Look, somebody even pointed out the line that he said, you're a woman beater, so I'm not even going to do this because I don't want to feed into that, which alludes to like, so wait, you're saying that him beefing with you would be like him beating a
Yo,
woman. So you're calling yourself a woman? You know
Drake
what I
said
mean?
so
So it's
many.
like-
He said
so
so
it's
many
like he's-
things that was like, what are you talking about, yo? Nothing beats if I was a pedophile.
At the same time, before we go there, right? Before we get to Heart Part 6, right? Let me give this like anecdote of like what was happening for me this weekend when all this happened, right?
Yes.
I was out Friday night, chilling in front of the bodega. We were in front of the bodega that white people had gentrified a while ago. Like there was this post that went viral about like the back of this bodega that we would hang out at. All the like people that work at Yankee Stadium, right? Like they would hang out at the back of the bodega after games and shit like that, and they'd smoke. And this was, of course, when New York City was still not legal to be smoking. You know what I mean? So like whenever you had a spot that's like indoors but outdoors, but like you know you could smoke and chill and drink and like not have to worry about cops. It was almost like protection from the police. You know, it was a spot until like some white guy like blew it up on like Vine. Was it Mel?
Why did they do
Vine
that?
Like it was like back in them days.
Shout out to Wine.
It was like Vine that he blew it up on.
I used to hang out back there.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, we.
Oh,
wait,
remember the little badass kids used to throw stuff at us?
Right. Little badass kids.
Yo, shout out to the little badass kids.
And so we were hanging out in front of that bodega, which we never do, right? And so we're chilling in front of that because we haven't done it since white people gentrified that spot. And so we're chilling outside, and bro, I got 2 phone calls and two texts from people close to me and people who like I work with and people who I'm just cool with online and people who it's just like I got hit with a flood of like, oh my God, did you hear Drake do shit? And I was like, what? No, I'm out. I'm hanging out. Like, you know?
Which
like,
one was this? Was this the
I'm living life. This was before Family Matters.
Okay.
So 616 in LA had already came out that day in the daytime. But I was out and about, and then Family Matters comes out, and like people are hitting me. And then like the whole crowd that I'm with is like, yeah, play that shit right now. Like play that shit on the speakers. Let's hear. And like everybody went crazy. And like the young women that we were with, right? They all went crazy for it. And they're like, oh, Drake, fucking hands on your knees. You know what I mean? Yo, Drake is good for some motherfucking hands on your knees. Some shit that women are going to be like.
That's who he should have been rapping for this whole time.
That's who he should have been rapping for this whole time. So it was like they were super into the moment when Drake drops, but like nobody even noticed that Kendrick dropped. Like everybody, the very next day, we're all hanging out again because the Canelo fight is the next day, right? And like my boys are telling me like, oh yeah, I went home. We went home wild late, like 3, 4 in the morning. We were all definitely super smash, right? Super smash city. And so like get up late, wake up, go out, do it again, right? And what happens? They're like, man, I still ain't even listened to that Kendrick song. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like a whole contingency of people are just like stuck in the moment of like Family Matters and that shit being hard and like serving that kind of purpose that New York, you know what I mean? Like party, hang out outside, people love that Drake brings to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that vibe shit that this is perfect for the moment. And then that fucking the fucking drill fucking beat comes on and everybody's like, oh shit, Sana! You know what I mean? Like everybody's really like wilding out and having a good time to this shit. Then the next day comes and like they're more concerned with the fight than even catching Meet the Grams. Yeah. So like I just found that interesting. Like one, that's not to say anything, right? Because we still see also video surfacing of people in New York City partying to not like us, right? Yeah. So like by the next night, things changed a little bit, right? But I am telling you, like, my little area of the Bronx where I was hanging out, like, that was the vibe. Mel is like here and can testify, right? I think, Mel, you should give us your, like, how was your weekend? You might not have heard the songs, but what were the people around you saying?
Oh, how you not gonna listen to the song? Like, bro, my attention span is not there right now. Okay, it may take me 6 to 8 months to listen to a whole fucking album. Okay, because I listen and I run down on all the songs that I like, and once I run them in the ground, then I'll search for a new song. My
I
mind
used to do that all the time.
I
You know what I'm
would
saying?
say, if you look at social media, the people that were inside though had a very different reaction than the people that were outside that night. Like, I saw that coming out and I was driving people around. I could tell you one thing, ain't nobody getting in my Uber and ask me about Drake or Kendrick Lamar in the middle of the night. They was too busy doing what people do in the middle of the night, which is, you know, in some version of drinking, fucking, or eating. Those seem to be the three predominant activities of the night. I will include dancing in that too. I digress.
Drinking and dancing.
In fact, I tried to bring up Drake one time. I realized it was a mistake. It is not the right time for these people to care about rap beefs. And not really it. That's more of a daytime Uber conversation is what I realized. But yeah, online.
Crazy how it does matter in New York City still to this day. Like, even the party hangout culture cares. Like, they were partying, like I said, we were partying to Family Matters, and then the next night you see video surfacing of people partying in New York City.
Well,
to
I
not
feel like
us,
people are
you know?
partying
Like,
to it, but like if you're out partying to it, it's not like you're really digesting the fucking bars in the middle of the club when you're drunk. You're just vibing to it. So what conversation are you really having until the next day? And I'm pretty sure all over Montreal, any hip hop party that was happening, the second these songs came out, these motherfuckers got that shit spinning within. Like, yo, I was at the radio station, all the DJs were bragging about how they all got the new fucking diss songs ready to play it. Like, literally, they were playing a recap of the beef while I went on the radio last night to plug my shit. That was the whole beginning of the show, was just the diss songs in order of release. And like, I think a lot of people are following it. It's just that, you know, when you're out, it's not really diss land. It's like, or especially if you're out in places where young women are, I would imagine that rap beef disses is not the predominant conversation usually.
yeah, nah. I definitely heard a lot of women complaining about men, like, wilding out too much over this shit over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, lots of women online being like, yo, what the fuck is going on with guys right now? What's wrong with
all
these
of them? I made her listen to every last one of the songs. I'm like, you want to be up to date? You want to be able to follow it? You got to listen to all of them. And then she begrudgingly did.
After the 3 minutes of the 6 minute song, I'd be done checked out.
Yo, fam, we played at the end of EO Dub because Drake dropped his song while we were doing the open mic, and I was like, "Yo, you guys want to play the song?" And we played the song. I regretted that shit so quickly, yo.
7 minutes.
First of all, it's 7 minutes. Second of all, it's Drake trying to do the Kendrick thing, where he picked like a fucking monotonous beat, and he's just like rapping to it. And I'm like, you're not gonna beat Kendrick. Like, you're not gonna out Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like stick to what you do, Drake. Make a fucking catchy ass hook. Get a catchy ass flow and say the fly shit you always say over it, especially like with this topic, you know. Like, if first of all, if you find yourself at a point in your career where you're sitting down to write a rap, and that rap is, I swear I'm not a pedophile, like, you've already made a mistake. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you have to write the I'm not a pedophile song, at least make that shit catchy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't make it like sad and depressing and like don't make it like your fucking most serious song ever. Not at this point. You know? Fucking also, the motherfucker said he said, don't ever say if I was a pedophile as your defense to being a pedophile. But definitely don't say, if I was a pedophile, I would have been arrested. I promise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you promise?
Yeah.
You would have target.
These things are the main things that I think are like Drake's biggest missteps, which is why I do also think that he's losing right now.
Somebody said
because
Kendrick.
like he's down on my scorecard. You know what I mean? He hasn't lost, right? But he's down on my scorecards right now. And it's these missteps, these little missteps like that you're mentioning. You know what I mean? Like, what?
I don't know if
are
that's
you
a
doing
misstep.
that? Like, that's a huge misstep. What? Like making the "I'm Not a Pedophile" song? Like,
What? Here's the thing. I'm not even gonna lie. As we're having this conversation, I'm like, I see your point, but on the other token, if there's never any receipts and it's just allegations, then why not? If you're innocent, say it. Be flagrant. Be shock value.
Don't
Look
the
at
psychology.
Kendrick isn't even fucking addressing anything Drake is saying. Kendrick's just
He's
shooting
not like
his gun of like whatever he thinks and
he's
how
not like
he feels about Drake.
He's not like, if I did beat my wife, how come she doesn't have a black eye?
Right, he's not doing that. Exactly.
Because then that just makes people dig deeper instead of beating the wife thing. It's like, well, let's go see if she got a black eye right now.
So did he beat his wife?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, according to his own songs and according to the fans that like have been like big fans of his for a long time, like I've seen people being like, yeah, that's what he was talking about on Mr. Morale and the Hot Steppers, whatever.
Not only did he beat his wife, Drake is also alleging that his manager is sleeping with his wife
and fathered a child.
I feel like that's taking it too far. But then you know what Kendrick, you know what Kendrick did point out that is actually something that happened is that Drake slept with Lil Wayne's girlfriend while Lil Wayne was in prison.
That did.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that one, I'm just like, I really don't like see a big deal here. You know what I mean?
That's your boy.
Because
he put you on.
About a couple things, right? So like first, I'm of the mindset of like anything that I'm with, if you could take it away from me, it ain't mine, right? And like woman's body, woman's choice. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So like if I come home and my wife is cheating on me with some dude, I'm not mad at the dude. Like I'm mad at my wife.
I'm mad at both of them.
That's who I have the trust with. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know this person. Now, if it's my friend, you're essentially exposing, right? Like, oh look, your girl, she smutted out, bro. You should never trust her.
Well, maybe the girl is exposing your friend. Maybe the girl's like, your friend, look at him. No loyalty. look
right. look how quick you come get this pussy.
Right. He'll steal, he'll kill.
But like also like when you look at the lyrics that Wayne addressed in the right, like Wayne isn't addressing it like he's upset at Drake. He's addressing it like this bitch betrayed me. And
but I'm gonna tell you this. I think that's the thing that men do in order to like shield themselves from like the pain of like feeling like another man has got one over on them. You know what I'm saying? And like everything you're saying is like kind of aligned with how I look at it, right? Like a woman, it is a woman's body, it is a woman's choice, but it's also like, would you do that to your boy? Like, you know? And it's like you have to acknowledge that like you're operating.
I mean, I've done crazy things when I was young.
But
I'm like, I think there's some. I think there.
But like, if it was somebody,
let's just ask you. Let's like reframe this completely differently. Let's say.
Yo, by the way, Baxter, Zilmanil said Baxter is funny as fuck, man.
He does.
Zilmanil is like Baxter is funny as fuck.
Thank you. I tried.
But like, let's just like reframe it because like, it would be an equatable thing. You get put on by like some mentor person, a boss in your life at work. And then for whatever reason, after giving you an absurd amount of money, he goes to jail, and then you fuck his girl.
And you could sleep with almost anybody at this point.
I'm just saying, like,
it's not like
yo, look, bro, you went.
It's not like Drake was like, oh man, this is my chance.
She came and canoodled in my bed. Like, look at this.
And on that
Look at
note,
this.
like
You should leave her.
maybe they were running trains, and this was a comfortable situation between them, and that's why they were good. Like, we don't actually have the full details.
They were running trains, and Drake was just like transfer. No,
I'm just saying, like, we don't fully know the relationship with this one.
I'm gonna tell you this,
in my opinion.
I saw an interview with Lil Wayne. That nigga was hurt. And Wayne don't show hurt. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Lil Wayne like show hurt. But like, first of all, he was being Lil Wayne, right? There was like the interviewer was talking to him about it, and he was like, I honestly don't remember what y'all talking about. He was like, I'm high all the time. I have a bad memory. I don't know what y'all talking about. And she reminded him. He was like, oh yeah, that did happen. And then she was like, are you upset with Drake? He was like, nah. But he's like, she still be trying to text me. I'm like, don't text me, because that still hurt. And I was like, damn, Wayne is hurt.
Fair enough. Like, I will say, it's not the best move.
Shouts to Push
Not
Pack
the
in
best
the
move.
comments. He said Chubb's got to crash some.
Yo, but you know what? All that shit is like messy. Like, okay, artists live messy lives. Who's the better rapper? Drake or
that's what I want.
I would
That's
say,
what I want
so
things to get
the
back.
main like, if I mean that's still being
What'd you
like
say,
heavily
Melz?
debated. Sorry.
It depends. I feel like, honestly speaking, it depends on the person. Like, I'm not the OD one where it's like, oh my god, he said some shit. Like, 9 times out of 10, the song, the lines in the songs is gonna go over my head for years until I hear someone else say it, and it just be like, oh, that's what the fuck he was saying. So I'm not that person to be like, yo, lyrical rap is da-da-da-da. No, give me some shit I want to dance to. I can recite when I'm lit, and but all that other shit, no. I don't. The last time I really listened to Kendrick Lamar, when it was when he had that song "Poetic Justice,"
which Drake was on.
And the only reason I really listened to it was because my son used to sing it. So I'm like, oh, that's a cool little song. And even songs to this day, my son will send it to me and be like, Mom, listen to this. But the Drake and Kendrick was not on his radar. So I feel like it depends. Sometimes I don't want to know about some real deep shit, because that's not where my pencil is.
Facts.
Melz said, you trying to acknowledge, son?
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want to be like, Kiki, do you love me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about what happened to the slaves in 1932.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I love that bar, bro. Yeah. Yo, there's some shit that, like, everybody, that's another thing to talk about, right? Like, yo, there was a lot of like questioning Drake's right to say nigga, Drake's blackness.
But Drake brings all this shit on himself. That's the thing about it, that like, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to hate Drake, because like, I think Drake is a better songwriter than Kendrick Lamar. I think if my life was on the line, right? If my life is on the line and I need somebody to like spit a verse, please send in Kendrick Lamar. If my life is on the line and I need somebody to write a song that people will love, send in fucking Drake. No, like,
Absolutely.
no questions asked.
No,
that is because that's the answer to. That's the answer, though, because, like, if you look at what Kendrick does, like, I was thinking a lot about this. Kendrick does the kind of shit where you're going to hear, like, the concept, it's deep, you're going to go back, you're going to have to listen to it more than one time just to start to wrap your head around it. And, like, from that point of view, I don't think Drake can touch Kendrick. There's no competition there. But when it comes down to it, I'd be like learning the words to these Drake disses and like listening to them on repeat, whereas I don't feel that, and that's just me maybe, but I find like Drake focused on making these catchy song. I don't know about that. A lot of Canadians up here don't like Drake like that. Literally, we have Canadians in the chat going against Drake right now, so it's not, we're split. We're not. It's not like that.
Facts. Canada is full of baggers. Canada is good for. Canada is good for I hate mainstream whatever.
but two things.
Like I just think that like Drake makes better pop music, and he's more in touch with like that outside party, like the crowd that Flacko basically rolls with and advocates for. The outside, I spend money, I'm living this like Littyyy life. That's what Drake is like the master at. Whereas Kendrick's for like the dude who's at home bumping that shit with headphones on, just trying to fucking dissect that shit.
But when I say Drake brings it on himself, I mean
Kendrick makes music for niggas that walk to work and shit. Yo, some of the posts that have come out have been hilarious.
My favorite was Kendrick went from To Pimp a Butterfly to Catch a Predator. But when I say Drake brings it on himself, I mean like your reputation can only like we're all responsible for our reputation in some way, shape, or form, right? Like if you a motherfucker that loves strip clubs and then somebody starts calling you a trick, it's like you can only do so much defending from the strip club, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, yo, Drake, the fact that there's just so much evidence to put you in the proximity of pedophilia is your own fault. You know, the fact that like your blackness is in question isn't because like you're biracial, because fucking is Redman biracial? Because that nigga's light skinned as fuck. Like, you know, like you don't become questionable just because you're biracial. You become questionable because like there's so much evidence of you not being this person that you portray yourself to be. There's so much evidence of you like talking different, being different, acting different. You know, there's that video that's going around of him at a dinner with those white girls calling like Canadian slang ignorant, you know, and it's like that's why people question you, not because if Drake would have just came out and was like was like who he shows himself to be consistently, then nobody would have said anything. You know, fucking we let New York City lets fucking we don't ever question Fat Joe's right to say the N-word, and he is absolutely
that
black.
Did come up. That was
recently. Fat Joe survived. Hold on, Fat Joe survived
in this beef. I've seen
Fat Joe survived for mad long before motherfuckers started questioning that. You know, because
definitely. But I tell you this, it's been happening every year that people like bring up the question of like Fat Joe's using
New Yorkers
the N-word, and New Yorkers don't. New Yorkers are usually in the comments defending like, nah,
like, yo, leave Joe alone.
This is black and Latin people in the comments from New York, and they're always like, y'all just don't understand the culture that we got here. And,
Word.
You know what I mean?
It's
Everybody,
the truth.
It immediately always goes there. But the rest of the world always is like, we don't give a fuck, New York. We're telling you the way that it goes. And this is the way we protect blackness now.
And they're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
And the fact that like Fat Joe isn't black, and on the universal scale of it, non-black people shouldn't have to use the N-word. But Fat Joe is hip hop, and in being that way, is indoctrinated into like the biggest black-centered culture in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a hip hop culture in every country in the world, and hip hop culture is black. And saying the N-word is a hip hop thing. Like, that's what made it popular, is fucking rappers rapping the N-word, you know? That's what makes it like persistent. With that, Drake is hip hop, but we don't know that he's hip hop from the core. Like, Fat Joe came up. Like, somebody asked Vince Staples, he was like, yo, you know what fucking question I hate? Is when motherfuckers ask you like when you fell in love with hip hop. He's like, fuck you mean when you fell in like hip hop wasn't something I discovered. It wasn't something that like one day I turned on the TV and there was hip hop. He's like, it was like that's just what life was. That's what was around me. And it's like
I just always hated that question. Period.
It's a stupid question, and it's like
it's a stupid question. It got popularized because of Brown Sugar,
the movie. But also, what you don't understand, what people don't fail to realize, is like being hip hop has nothing to do with rapping or music or fucking any of that shit. You could meet a motherfucker on the street and like identify that this motherfucker is hip hop, and he don't have to listen to nary a rap song. He don't have to like rap, break dance, graffiti, or none of that shit. Just if he carries himself in like an authentic way, that's like, you know, that sort of lends itself to the principles of the culture, the motherfucker could be hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He could walk into the fucking, as they say, he could walk into the barbecue, get make himself a plate, handle himself respectfully, and he would be hip hop. And we question Drake because we see him do things that don't look like hip hop, like the blackface cover that they used for the story of the Pusha T shit.
I don't know.
That's not hip hop, you know. Fucking BBL Drizzy. I don't know.
Oh, they didn't even mention that one time.
That might be the number one song out of this whole beef is BBL Drizzy. Fucking shout out to Metro Boomin for like squeaking out the win.
Has anyone
Metro
like
Boomin,
jumped on that? Like, have we seen any like?
I swear, I jumped on Twitter just to tell him that.
I saw somebody do a guitar cover.
I feel like, yo, you gotta hear for the rest of his life. He's gotta hear this everywhere he goes. You know what I mean?
But he can own
like
it.
Metro starts talking, and it's like Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums.
I think he can own it the way that Cypher Sounds used to own the Cypher Don't Get Gassed.
Yeah, Cypher Don't Get Gassed. Absolutely.
He could just take it and like play it as his drop. Like Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums and then drop the beat.
Nigga, boom, and then drop the beat. Yeah, if he does that, then
man,
checkmate. That'd be fantastic.
I think he's having fun with it. He's doing his little tours where he's going around and dropping these diss songs and like hyping up the crowd, and like he's having a fucking field day. I don't think he's been this relevant in a very long time.
He might be the real winner out of this whole thing is Metro Boomin.
Because ain't nobody really mad at him. Everyone just is listening to like that a lot, which is good for him.
How's that Future album doing?
That I don't know. Look it up. Look it up, Holden. You know what people aren't talking about in all this shit? The Drake parody that he dropped on IG of fucking The Buried Alive. Did you hear that?
Oh, he was like, if I was in a pine box.
Pine box. Yeah, pine box. What was it he said?
That's the angle he should have used. His whole shit is just making fun of Kendrick. He should have did a bunch of funny voice making fun of Kendrick records, and that he would have fucking landslided it.
Right.
We still don't trust whose first week sales were 127,500 equivalent units.
Sorry.
And 2,500 traditional albums, but it was only per available as a digital download. And then I don't know how it's still doing. But it debuted #1, so that was a good start to the album.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Also, as they pointed out in the chat on Twitch, Drake doesn't even write his own lyrics all the time. So, like, can he even be the greatest rapper of all time? And if he could be the greatest rapper of all time, then we got to go back and fucking throw Dr. Dre. Kanye West is back in the running. Puff Daddy maybe, but probably not.
Also, to go back to
that's another
earlier,
thing that I mentioned. I made a post about that. I was like, who knew all it would take is for a Drake and Kenny beef for niggas to forgive Diddy? Because let me tell you something. I seen his name being slung around out here. Like
Diddy's
a weapon.
probably like
they're like people are in the comments like, this is why Diddy fucked up Drake, pedophile bitch ass. That's why Diddy fucked him up.
Oh wait, what is making him a pedophile? Like,
I'm like, Diddy's the hero now. They were just accusing Diddy of being a pedophile.
Why is Drake
this week
a pedophile?
I mean, he's done some weird things like being in the Millie Bobby Brown chats.
Let's not hold on. Let's not have a self. Let me finish this real quick. All right. They were just saying Diddy's a pedophile, but now they're using Diddy's name against Drake because Drake is a pedophile. And it just feels like now this is the like go-to thing. It's like, you're a pedophile. You're a pedophile. You're touching children. I don't know, man.
But did he?
Like, there's no fucking proof that Drake fucking, but at the same time, there is like evidence of Drake hanging out with young people. Millie Bobby Brown, the girl that played 11 on Stranger Things.
Yeah, and he
was friends with her. People.
It was more than he was friends. He was in her DMs, like talking about sex and.
But she's also like.
Nature.
I don't know if it was talking about sex. She talked about it publicly.
Dating advice. It was something. It was definitely weird. It was definitely one of those ones where I had like
she's
trouble
married now,
looking
though.
at.
Millie Bobby Brown is married.
She's married, and I'm pretty sure if she like that, this is one of the things that I'm also like. This is not to defend Drake at all, but it also is a lot of like look, the girl that was on stage that the video is floating around right now and people are using as like, oh, there's evidence of Drake's pedophilia is like the young girl herself is now 31 and is like, that was me.
Yeah,
nothing then. It's nothing now.
Just to counter that a little bit, he does make some weird comments like, is it weird that I enjoyed that as much as I did, knowing she's 17 and like that kind of shit?
But wait. We're not providing we're not providing Melz with the context. So Drake brought a 17-year-old girl up on stage. He knew she was 17. He kissed her in front of the people, and he made some like weird comments, and that is like weird, right? But it's just, you know, that's also it's on stage and it's a spectacle. And as Flacco's pointing out, the 17-year-old girl is like older now, and she's like, nothing weird happened. Like that was just that, right? Nelly did a similar thing, if not like a weirder thing.
All stars have.
But it's also it's like you're bringing someone on stage. It's like a spectacle. Like what's gonna happen? You're not gonna fuck them on stage. Yeah. But on top of that, Drake has been accused with having like inappropriate relationships with underage actresses and artists. The most notably being Millie Bobby Brown, who was interviewed one time, and the interviewer was asking her about her relationship with Drake, and she was saying like, "Oh yeah, he calls me and tells me he misses me, and he gives me advice about boys and things," which like seems very like groomer-ish. It's what like groomers do when they are trying to wait for a girl to like turn of age or whatever. Then there's like a tweet where Billie Eilish is like, "Finally, I turned 18," and Drake responds, "I've been waiting." But I don't know if that's real or not. That's just something the internet is pointing out there. And there's like other instances of Drake.
One more of like a young model, him having like a relationship with a young model when she was 16. And then, like, they're actually being them on a date when she's like 18. You know what I mean? Which is like kind of, that is definitely evidence of like, you know, essentially grooming.
It's not evidence of, he knew her when she was 16 and he dated her when she was 18.
Dated her when she was 18.
Right.
That falls under grooming.
What'd you say, Melz?
Groomed.
Say it again?
Say that again.
I want to be groomed.
Yo, let me tell you something. That was another thing that I was like, yo, I don't know. Like, I don't really, as long as people are 18, like, I think about when I was 18, 20, dating a 32-year-old woman, right? And like, she was wild older than me. You know what I mean? But like, yo, bless her heart. She taught me wild things. Like, I wouldn't want anybody having interfered with that relationship. I would have been like, yo, I'm a grown-ass adult. Mind your fucking business. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm an adult now. I'm 18. So I can do whatever the fuck I want to.
You're not wrong, like, but there's a difference between something being illegal and something being like immoral. And
yeah, absolutely.
And dealing with the repercussions of like building a reputation. And I think that's my point about this whole Drake thing is like you're building a reputation around
the same thing you said about Diddy.
Yeah, being associated with like younger people. Right. Like who are you that is building this reputation? You know what I'm saying? And maybe, possibly, he just really, really wants to be like Michael Jackson. And maybe that's what this is all about. Maybe he's like, I got the #1 hits. I'm fucking Michael Jackson. All I need now is the pedophilia accusations, and I'm locking it in. He's like, people are like, he's like, Michael Jackson went from black to white. They're telling me I'm white. I'm like, yo, I'm Michael Jackson.
He did say
BBL Drizzy, white boy, hey white boy. Let me.
But
I do think that
hey white boy, let me tell you something.
That what like Kendrick wants out this game is for Drake to be completely invalidated and blackballed. That is what he wants out this game. That's what he's going for. That's what his fans want.
This battle, regardless of like what the outcome is going to be, which I already know what the outcome is going to be. People want Drake to lose. This is like Nas versus Hove in the like instance of like people wanted Hove to lose in that
But
Nas versus Hove thing. You know what I mean? Like there were a lot of people that weren't Nas fans. They were just Hove haters. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that like they don't really care about either Kendrick or Drake. They just want to see the downfall of Drake. And with that is going to come the absolute moment at some point in all of this where people settle down and they say, and the winner is Kendrick. And I don't think that that's going to damage Drake's career at all. The same way the loss that Hov took to Nas didn't damage his career at all. And if anything, it strengthened his career on some like, yo, my man is battle tested. Like, yeah, he might have lost, but like, my man is battle tested. You know what I mean?
Also,
I see a lot of people mentioning how Drake is like once again stepping up to the beef. Like Drake ain't scared of no motherfucking smoke. You know what I mean? Like people call smoke on Drake, and Drake's like, "Yes, sir. Yes, Captain. I'm here. I'm ready for it." Like you know
who's going to be the loser? Whoever drops the wackest whatever comes next. Like that's how it's gonna like determine. Because even with the Nas and Jay-Z shit, you know why Nas like really fucking pulled it together? It's because his next album was Stillmatic and it was bangers, and people were like, "Fucking Nas is back." If Nas would have dropped fucking Nostradamus after the beef, they'd have been like, "No, Nas." You know what I'm saying?
See? And that's one of my favorite Nas songs. Nasty nuts.
And now he is Nostradamus.
See, like that.
But that album wasn't it. And then like what Jay-Z fucked up is like after the battle, he dropped the Blueprint 2, which has bangers on it, but it was just too fucking long. And it just was like if he would have dropped like the Black album after the beef, he would have like wrote out of it better. So what I'm saying is like smoke clears. Both of you motherfuckers got to go back to making regular music. If whatever comes next is a banger and the other person puts out a dud, they're gonna be declared the loser. Because also what you've done now is you've polarized the fan bases. So now people who love Drake can't fuck with Kendrick, and people who love Kendrick don't fuck with Drake. You know what I'm saying? So they're waiting for you to drop a dud. They're fucking waiting for it.
But even like beyond that, like something else that's gonna happen is there's even more people who have like, there's a lot of people who discovered that Drake produces music that says something beyond what they ever believed, because they've only ever heard club Drake hits before or whatever. They've never like listened to any of the timestamp songs or anything to that effect. So there's a lot of people.
He used to call me on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Late night me, yo, that also played that weekend of the bowling, which was the weekend before, and bruh,
they've also
like, he has so many songs that are like cultural moment songs that like like touched all of us. No matter how Drake is, he also has Nice for What's another one.
Yo, I was in New Orleans when that was motherfuckers was going ham, yo.
That's the model, baby. Yellow.
That's
right.
Yeah, YOLO was another one that was like, YOLO turned into a thing behind YOLO. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised Kendrick didn't use that in his fucking raps. Like, you only live once, you only die once too. But the reason why neither of them are losing is because they both make undeniably great music, and that's usually the loser. You know, like Cannabis lost to LL because his album after that was trash. You know what I'm saying? Right. Fucking Ja Rule loses to 50 Cent because 50's putting out bangers and Ja isn't putting out the hits that he once was. A lot of it has to do with his label, his Irv Gotti's like legal troubles, but it's still the same thing. You know, it's like
singing,
huh?
He couldn't come back singing on a track with Ashanti after Wanksta.
No, but he almost came back with the I got 100 guns, 100 clips, and I'm from New York.
Hard as it's been.
Yo, that
right.
Let me tell you something. That is when I think of like somebody asked me this, and they were like, "What's the most like when you think of a New York song? What do you think of?" I'm like, I think of that. I think I got 100 clips. I'm from New York.
Honestly,
There's so many New York songs, but really that one is the one that just
it feels very New York.
Very New York.
They play it at the bar every time the Yankees win. Every single time.
Now, if Ja Rule would have coupled that with an album full of bangers, he'd have been back in there. You know what I'm saying? But like 50 Cent made sure that didn't happen, and like Ja didn't have the backing of Murder Inc. at its highest. Ashanti and Irv Gotti didn't fuck with each other no more. Like,
because they was fucking.
Right. Irv is in legal trouble, so he don't even have the money to spend on promo and any of that shit. Fucking, and there's nobody else on Murder Inc. but that's doing anything besides those two. Like, you know, so like he just found himself at a position where he couldn't even fight back. You know,
and then a divorce.
Right. So it's like, you know, usually the person who's making the better music wins. That's why R. Kelly survived for so long. Motherfuckers was like, yeah, he's peeing on kids, but this beat though, like, you know what I'm saying? They were like, yo, step in the name of love though. But if you make if you make whack music, they gonna get you the fuck out of here immediately. You make whack music and you peeing on kids, under the jail. That's what Chris Brown fucking, you know, people hate that motherfucker because he beat Rihanna. And he just keep making
for him
bangers.
People really be back on Team Breezy these days.
You guys are exaggerating a little bit.
Bangers.
Not to me.
Not to me.
No, I mean, Chris Brown is arguably makes bangers to a lot of people. Like,
people love his music, yo. That's why he's still around.
If you're charting, you're making some level of banger. And the thing is that Chris Brown will also drop a 48-song project that only produces a few bangers. And then there's just a lot of Chris Brown music out there. Like us, that guy has a work ethic that is very commendable.
Taylor Swift could murder a motherfucker on television, and she would probably get away with it. Because as long as you making music people like, that is the main directive.
Meet you where you been.
That was what Donald Trump said when he was first running for president, right?
At a point in time,
man, I go down the fucking block, murder somebody. What the fuck anybody gonna tell me? I'm fucking Donald Trump, bitch.
That was true. That was true for a time. I don't know if that's still true for him. He probably shouldn't murder anybody.
Wait, he probably shouldn't murder nobody, but like, you gotta give it
I like
to
your nails, Mel. You look like fucking Macho Man Randy Savage's main biddy. You know what I mean?
Elizabeth? Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I cannot with y'all.
Is it Elizabeth?
I cannot.
Shout out to everybody who's watching the WWF. You know what I'm saying? Before the Eve.
Word.
Before the panda people sued them.
Before the panda people came along.
Yeah, you know what broke my heart? I might have mentioned this on the podcast before. Finding out that Hulk Hogan was racist. That broke my heart, yo.
Yeah. It broke a lot of hearts with that.
Hulk Hogan is racist.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan is racist.
Super racist. Like, got caught, and he kind of like ended his career of coolness. He's no longer accepted by people. Like, I guess he wasn't, like, and it's crazy because he had a huge reputation, but like, he'd made so many bad career choices at the end of his career that people were kind of tired of him, and that was like a nail in the coffin. He was not making bangers no more in terms of his career choices.
Right, you got to make bangers. Also, you know, he turned down the George Foreman grill. Before it was the George Foreman grill, it was supposed to be the Hulk Hogan grill, and he turned it down.
But the question is, would it have sold as well with Hogan, or would it have sold better with George Foreman? Because I don't know. That's
George Foreman grill kind of has a ring to it.
That's what I'm saying. Hulk Hogan grill. I don't know if I want to own that grill. That's like some wrestling shit. Whereas honestly, I don't even really remember what George Foreman did, but it sounds like a grill I want. He sounds like a guy who knows how to do
He's a boxer.
I'm just being honest.
The Thriller in Manila.
Holden's not a fight fan guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, not even.
I know, but there's certain things, like, you don't got to be a baseball guy to know Babe Ruth. You know, and it's also who.
I mean, that shit comes up
George
up here.
George Foreman's
like
not
up
really
here
like
in my country.
Babe
that's
Ruth,
not
though,
your country.
You know? No. That's not what I'm saying.
He's like Lou Gehrig. which is like,
I mean, Luke
you know,
Garrett's
I know
famous for
what
the,
Babe
for
he's got a
the
whole
Ruth
disease.
disease named after him. He's got a whole disease named after him.
I couldn't.
So people
I
could
didn't realize.
easily never relate the two, and even
No,
know
but this
that
is what
he
I'm,
played
but
baseball. They
I don't think he should
fuck around and know
know.
him more for the disease than the sport.
I don't think he
That's
should
what
know
I'm
who
saying.
George Foreman is. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, Holden, if you had to give the greatest boxer of all time, who would you say?
Muhammad Ali.
Right. And Muhammad Ali's one of his greatest fights is the Thriller in Manila,
Right.
and he fought George Foreman. And that's why I'm surprised that you don't know who George Foreman is, or that he's a boxer.
I probably learned this fact like 8 times in my life from YouTube and different people, and like I might remember it, but I also might not remember it because it's a boxing fact, and as much as it's culturally relevant,
also,
it's just like
I'm not saying
a little blip in
also
the list
because
of
people-
things.
check it
Yeah,
out.
it never
Also
comes up.
because
Nobody
people don't-
ever talks about it.
also
All his
because
sons are named
people don't
George. He-
Remember the losers.
He has
People don't
five.
remember the loser.
He has
You know what I mean?
5
So, like,
sons, and they're all named George.
Ali beat him.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like Ali
But
beat him.
also,
So it's like
I can't,
people don't
I
know the name of the guy that like that Ali has a famous picture of like walking over him.
Yeah, they do.
And he beat him. You know what I mean? People
Yes, they do.
People are like, what? Who? What?
I'm
Sonny,
almost
listen.
positive that that's Sugar Ray Leonard. I could be wrong. Hold on.
Nah. Yeah, you're wrong.
Bro, I've
Sonny
never
Liston,
heard the
I think.
name Sugar Ray Leonard. I don't know
What?
who that is either.
Sonny
What
Liston.
do we-
Sonny Liston. Sorry,
Maybe. I can't.
but
maybe
motherfuckers
heard
know who Sonny Liston is.
Maybe, bro. Like, if you don't care for sports, and
Yeah, if you
it's
don't
some,
care
like,
for sports,
at
people are not
all,
gonna know. That's
like,
what
I'm
I'm
not
I
a
don't care for
sports guy.
sports. I'm not a sports guy either. I'm a history guy.
Yeah,
You know, it's like there's certain-
in the whole scope of history.
That's why
I
you
don't
know.
start with U.S. culture. It's not really like
Wait,
my
does
starting.
does Canada have sports?
Yes,
He's like,
sorta.
does Canada have a
Yo,
history?
Montreal's basketball
Yeah.
team's doing well these days. All I know is our
Yo.
team is in the J.
You
Cole
mean your
league. We
history
are-
books are different than our history books?
Yo, honestly, if
You're
you
not
had the
just learning
Quebec
our
of
history?
the history of Quebec and Canada in a nutshell is the name of the book they fucking taught me in school. Do you know how
In
much
a
American
nutshell.
shit I get taught? We get taught that we fucked up the White House and very little else outside of TV.
Yo, wait,
Like,
you guys got nutshells in Canada?
We fucking banged out Vimy Ridge, and that helped us get away from the Queen, and we outperformed the Americans in that battle. But that's what our history is. In this moment, we made the Americans look worse than us. In this moment, we made the British look worse than us. Like, we ain't sitting there. Even like our racism stuff is different. Like, it's just like all the cultural things that happen.
You didn't outperform the Americans in racism. I'll tell you that.
We did compete, though.
They did compete.
But like the whole
for
story
sure.
is just different. Their history is different. The roles we played is so like. By the time we get to George Foreman, it's just like, man, there's already so much Canadian shit ahead of that it's not really that significant to me.
Yeah, but none
I'm
of
not
that
a
shit is
sports
fighting
fan.
Muhammad Ali. What
Yeah, but,
Canadian
like,
shit is fighting Muhammad Ali? You know what I'm saying?
To us,
No,
they're
I'm joking.
shit. Now you're just
I'm
talking
joking.
on that American hubris.
Also,
That's crazy.
also,
You might-
also, my
you know who
cousin
might
used to
be
play
more famous than George Foreman too. The fucking champ he got against him.
Ali Boomba.
Champ is here. You
Um,
know what I mean?
my
Fucking-
cousin used to play professional basketball in Canada, so I'm not gonna talk shit about Canadian sports at all.
I'm not going to act like Canadian sports is the greatest thing ever, but it's legitimate enough that they have careers. And like,
It's definitely top 3 of sports.
like
countries on
technically
the-
Toronto just plays in your leagues.
Canada's sports culture is top 3 on the continent.
Facts, it really is. And
You guys
depending
used to
the
have
sport,
2
we
teams
could
in
even be
Canada.
top
You
2.
used to have the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Only
too.
because I don't know what's going on in Mexico.
And then if we look at MLB, we used to have the Expos up here, but that moved away. But now we have our own soccer league that's doing its own thing, and people really like it. Like, it's not just random. Like, Canada got to be in the World Cup off merit for once. That's crazy talk. That never happened before. I'm like, so like we do have it, but honestly, let's be fucking real. It's just immigrants. It's just like a bunch of people from soccer playing countries that like came here, and now we have soccer as a skill in our country. And that's how our sports grew internationally.
I mean, that's what
Shut
baseball
up,
is in America.
That's
Basically,
Is Canada dry from Canada? Do you guys?
Yeah,
that
I'm
your
pretty
thing?
sure. I'm pretty sure. I would hope so. I actually don't. Schweppes is the
Yeah,
company?
why would an American company name one of their products
Yeah.
Canada Dry?
Nigga, American got Poland Springs.
Y'all have random ass Montreal
Well,
styled
true.
shit that I've never seen before as Montreal styled anything.
Yo, fucking Poland Springs was like Poland Springs, what it means to be
Like-
from Maine. That don't even make sense.
But yeah, Bonnie's saying it came from around the time of Prohibition, probably as like a alternative. Because like, yo, ginger ale is a wildly wannabe alcohol drink.
I love
Yo.
Mr. Ginger.
Also, Haagen Dogs from the Bronx.
Haagen-Dazs is from the Bronx, for
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't know that, but
They
Haagen
just,
Dazs
they
is
just
What?
need
Ralph Lauren is also from the Bronx.
also from the
You know what I
Bronx.
mean? Polo.
So
You know what I'm
Stanley.
saying? Low live shit. You know what I'm saying? What you know about that?
Alright, so it's
Stan
just
Lee.
a bunch of
Stan Lee,
shit.
also from the Bronx. Bronx shit, more Bronx shit, big gang shit, big BX shit. Who else is from the Bronx?
a
Fat
lot of
Joe.
I don't know,
people.
man.
There's a lot of people
Fat
from
Joe.
the Bronx. You could
Cardi
just
B.
list a bunch of people, and it would be from the Bronx, and that would be valid.
Ice Spice.
Yo, I want to know who
Ice Spice
Ice
is
Spice's
from the
dad
Bronx.
is.
She's in trouble. The
The dad-
barbers are mad at her.
Oh,
Wait, who's in trouble?
The Barbs are mad at her.
that's a
Ice
whole
Spice.
other drama that has to do with another indie artist who like supposedly was her best friend, who's like airing her out on
Oh,
Twitter.
I saw that. I saw that online.
But
Damn,
she-
you know, we also didn't get to talk about Vlad getting aired out on Twitter.
Thank God.
I'm so happy that moment is
Can we
finally
bury him?
happening. I was like, oh, so y'all ready to do this? About time. Let's go.
Yo, how like his name is Vlad? How is he just not labeled a bloodsucker? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yo, you named after Dracula, fam.
I mean, he
God.
pays a lot of people, right? Like, he pays a lot of people to not go against him publicly.
Nah, yeah, it's because a lot of people make money with him, but like he's absolutely a bloodsucker.
Yeah.
You know where
He's definitely a culture vulture.
I never fucked with him, but you know when I really, really didn't fuck with him is when I forgot who he was beefing with. I think it's when him and Lord Jamar fell out, and it's because he said something about Farrakhan. And he tried to negotiate. He was like, "Yo, if I'll like apologize if Farrakhan will let me interview him." And then everyone's like, "Who do you think you
The
are?"
arrogance.
Yo.
Like,
Like,
yo,
do you know how important this
who
man
the fuck
is
do you think you are?
to the history and the culture of the people that like follow him? But anyway, fuck Vlad.
It's nice
Yeah,
though
man.
that he's finally getting, you know.
For those who don't know, Vlad, because this is associated to the Kendrick beef, when the song "Not Like Us" dropped, Vlad tweeted that he didn't like the mix of the song, and then a Princeton professor, a black woman, responded and said, "This is black people."
Mrs. Jergens, because she's Rodney Jerkins' family, apparently.
But she was saying that like, yo, this is like black people shit. Like you're like, you don't have to respond to it. And then he immediately tried to get her like fired from Princeton. Like that's his immediate thing. And then he's since
Such
walked
a
it
weird
back.
move.
It is such a weird move. It's such a chronically online like reaction to something, especially because like you don't have to respond. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's the internet. Like somebody says,
Like,
"Oh,
I never understand how like, okay, like, so you're having a debate, and then your move is to go after somebody's occupation over a comment on social media when you're a media platform that gets motherfuckers to snitch on themselves."
But that's because that's what it is. Because like the power that he holds is his platform. So like he immediately wants to mobilize that power to win this insignificant exchange on the internet. And like, 9 times out of 10 it probably goes his way. 9 times out of 10 he probably gets exactly like, what he wants. But the irony of it is the purpose of the song is saying like, you are not like us. You don't understand. He responds to that. Then the woman is like, this isn't something that you are qualified to talk on. And he doubles down in his ignorance. And now he's getting the result that he's reaping what he sows, which is that he not like us.
People are calling out that Vlad is a typical white guy in the culture, like to disrespect. Yeah. Like he knows who he's picking on, who he's picking beef with, and like trying to intimidate. And he immediately was like, essentially like, let me speak with your manager because we don't agree. Right. I've definitely Vlad for years, for years. Like I've never liked Vlad, and like Vlad blocked me on every profile that I've ever made on Twitter because all I do is send. I won't even send out an inflammatory tweet. I'll just say some factual shit like, "Oh, he's incredibly hypocritical because of this," and Vlad will just be like, "Block." You know what I mean? Like he blocks everybody who like criticizes him in any valid way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's just his MO. So.
Well, you know, because people who have chinks in their armor don't want you picking at them.
I think we could keep talking forever, but it's 5 minutes before 9, and we still got cinematic perspectives, and that's probably going to take some time.
We got to watch some trailers.
Let's do it.
We got to watch
some
trailers.
Let's jump
let's do it.
To
I got some special shit for you guys this week.
Oh, what makes them special?
Absolutely nothing, because I said they are.
Because they not like us.
Oh, all right. Just loading up the thing.
Yeah, we really did a whole episode of beef. It's crazy. It was a lot of beef this week, bro.
Well, we spent 25 minutes before we get into it. So we did an hour and a half on the beef.
All of us, like real rap heads, like, big win. Big win.
Yo, speaking of beef, while you load up the movies, there's another beef that I forgot to tell you guys about. I introduced my cat to my girlfriend's cat, which is why my cat isn't here today, and they are beefing. They're beefing like
what?
What? They don't hate each other. No, sorry, they're not trying to kill each other, but they don't like each other.
Cat wars.
A lot of cat growls and hissing.
Exactly.
Are you familiar with the concept of evolution? In their time, humans were capable of many great things. They could fly like eagles fly. They could speak across oceans. But now it is our time. And it is my kingdom. We will learn. Apes will learn. I will learn. And I will conquer.
Legend says ape and human lived side by side. Impossible as that may seem.
Why do they hunt her?
She is smarter than most.
The elders did not tell us everything about this world. Bend for your king. Apes hunt humans. That is wrong. Together, you will die. No, together,
So I'll set it off. Let me tell you something. I'm invested at this point. You know, I've watched all the other ones. I gotta go watch this. You know, but let me tell you something. The whole idea of this shit is like, fuck out of here, bro. I'll blow these fucking monkeys' brains out. If this was reality, they wouldn't stand a chance, bro. You're not fucking taking the earth from us. What? You're bugging the fuck out, son. And definitely not on some like the humans were capable of a great many things. Like, yeah, motherfucker, blowing your brains out. Like, wild ammo, son. You crazy? I'm not letting no monkeys take over the planet Earth, bro. Like, it's not happening on my watch. So everybody sleep better, knowing that I'm alive and I would never let that happen to humanity. You know?
I've never seen any of the Planet of the Apes movies, but I hear they're fucking amazing. This looks really good. My beef is like nitpicky beef. One, I ain't seen no black people, and I'm like, okay, so only the white people survive in the new planet. In the
I
new
didn't even notice
the new
that.
ape world. That's immediately what I noticed.
Don't got no black people.
Also, their hair is mad like straight and clean, and I'm like, oh, well, they still got shampoo in the fucking whatever.
Yeah, no,
and
of course they do, because they're the smart monkeys. They basically replaced humanity.
You being hunted. You being hunted down by aggressive, intelligent apes. You don't got time to shampoo and conditioner. And of course, like the attractive white woman is like the lead. I don't know. It's probably great. The movie's probably great. I like it. You know what it is? There was a scene where she was like running from the ape, and she was kind of like running like this, and I was like, nah, like that's not the one that survived.
I need you to hit the fucking.
I need you to have form.
Run.
You know what I'm saying? You need to look like Sha'Carri, like
you know, Tom Cruise form run.
And you know, back in my day, when my warrior princess was Lucy Lawless, and Lucy Lawless looked like she might be able to take someone in a fight. Man. You know what I'm saying?
For people who don't know, he's talking about Xena Warrior Princess.
Xena the Warrior Princess. Like when they have fucking Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, I'm like, she don't look like she taking nobody.
That don't look like Wonder Woman.
Nah.
You're like Xena would have kicked Wonder Woman's ass. What
right. I'm like, the only thing I wonder is why you thought you could. Nah.
Why is he like
you're saying you want like I
want someone to
build a woman to play Wonder Woman.
She don't got to be Wonder Woman. Yeah, you should look like an Amazon. Like who did they have?
That's
playing,
what an Amazon looks like to you in your head.
What was her name?
We don't know Amazons, right? Unless we're talking about Amazons from the actual.
The idea of an Amazon woman.
Like of a giant Amazon warrior,
like Amazonian, the mythological place.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Like the warrior women.
So there's no, there is no actual.
Yeah, there is. There's tall. Muscular women that could play these roles.
No, I know. No, I'm saying.
So, like, as Bonnie Megan Thee Stallion,
we didn't have cameras around back then to know if that's how these people were actually built. Like, they could have been Amazonian, and for them back then, Amazonian would have been 5'8". No. She's a towering 5'8".
If we do a movie about Hercules, we don't got to have a picture of Hercules to be like, yo, he need to be muscular. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fucking when they cast Captain America, they're not like, don't worry about how he looks. Like, they're not like, he don't got to look like he could. He don't got to look like he could fight.
Cera is the guy getting picked for that role.
Right. That's all I'm saying is like
which like I'm saying, like I see it because the idea of an Amazonian woman is somebody large that will fuck you up, like in that Futurama Death by Snoo.
Bonnie said Megan Thee Stallion makes more sense. I agree.
Yo,
I'm not mad.
Yeah,
I'm not mad.
Absolutely.
Right. And I'm just saying, like,
Wonder Woman.
I'm just saying, like, there's a level of the suspension of disbelief. But get back to this movie.
God, imagine Megan Thee Stallion's fat ass in a fucking Wonder Woman costume,
but
booming out the back. What?
To not lose the plot. I'm just saying, in this movie, the person doesn't look like a wilderness person. Doesn't look like somebody who's surviving in the wild against like,
She looks like a damsel.
Be careful though, Back. She was, according to them, she's the smartest one amongst them.
She can be smart.
Genius. She don't know how to grab some form when she's running. She's not smart enough to know that. But she.
All I know is I watched in Planet of the Apes shits when I was a kid because my dad made me watch the original Planet of the Apes. So when I say watch
Dirty Apes,
I mean like 6 of them. we used to do the marathon shits where you'd go to like the video store and get like all of them, and then spend a Sunday watching all the Planet of the Apes.
Damn
I've
dirty
never
apes.
seen Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
make me
we
wanna see the
already
new
figured
ones,
you
even if they're really
you already
good.
told us you only seen 2 movies in your lifetime. You know what I mean?
So like,
Hey,
I just
that's
wasn't
what-
enthralled.
Step
with the
Brothers and what?
That
What
Brothers
the
is a
other
good
one?
one.
Selena.
Salinas, anything for Salinas. Bitty bitty bamba.
Right.
Yo, if you're only gonna see 2 movies, Step Brothers and Salinas is a good 2 movies.
Fair.
He said, "Why you so sweaty? Watching Cops."
Facts.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell was at the Tom Brady roast. He
Oh,
appeared
God.
as Ron Burgundy. He appeared
That's
as
pretty
Ron Burgundy.
Fair.
I'm Ron
Yeah.
Burgundy. Okay, next movie.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch this
Go to
one.
the next one.
I gotta catch up with the Planet of the Apes. I wanna
Holden's
watch
like,
that one.
man, I do not give a fuck about Planet of the Apes now that my dad's
That's
not
not-
forcing me to watch it.
Holden's like, I reached my ape quota.
It's just like you go through the plot line and then it's just remakes
Okay,
of those
bro.
plot lines with new graphics. It's not like new plot lines.
Holden don't like it when people write his life story. I was writing a good story.
That's fair.
And Cabrini Green, it don't matter how old you are, how much money you got, how big or tall, or small. What do you call 3 trees? What? A trio. You ever think about what it would be like outside of here? Wow, this is where we from. Such a big world out there. So much I want to do.
You're never too little. Set your mind to it, you can do it.
I'm putting my mind to some McDonald's right now and I don't see it on my plate. Me and Eric, we've done everything together since we were born. You got dreams? Sometimes. You ever had a dream that felt so real you thought you was awake?
You know, we always wanted better. That's why we came here. Now how am I supposed to keep you safe?
With everything that's been going on, they're moving out. Malik didn't tell you?
You just mad because I'm leaving.
You're not a baby anymore. You're grown now, and you know right from wrong.
This is what I know. A place is the people. My name Malik, and my name Eric. Don't you forget it. Hey! Oh!
That was cute.
Riveting, compelling.
That was cute. That was.
Cabrini
I
Green
might
is Chicago,
still
right?
for an hour and a half. 2
Cabrini
hours.
Green in Chicago.
Is that the one they tore
She
down?
doesn't ever like no movies. She like for her to like a trailer. You know what I mean?
I dig it. Yeah. 3 for 15.
Word.
That's a
Did
pretty
they,
good ratio. But yo, what's really
Not
cool
bad.
about that trailer is I feel like it gave you the backstory and told you nothing of what the movie's really gonna be, and that made me very curious.
Agreed.
I feel the opposite. I feel like I know exactly what the movie's gonna be.
That's his back about to back.
Want me to tell you what it's about to be right now?
No, don't spoil it for me.
Wait, you said no or yes?
I said yes, Flacco said no.
Okay, I won't spoil it. But
don't spoil it for me.
I think it looks beautiful, heartwarming, and moving. I'm worried that it's going to be one of those movies that's like black people for white people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely has like the look like white people are picking up for all sorts of awards.
And it like I'm not a fan of that like music that they use in the background of all these kind of movies now. There's like a bunch of instruments playing at the same time. It's like like I feel like they use that a lot for like movies that's supposed to have like a heavy human like gravitas to it.
Like the jazz of life.
Right. But I'm interested. Like I really want to see this. The only thing I'm concerned about is like I hope it feels black. You know, and not just
I believe, Little Rel or like
he's in
Jordan
it.
Poole or in it behind it.
But that doesn't mean it won't be like black for the sake of for the white like gays.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
that doesn't mean that at all. If anything,
Yeah.
there's more of a chance that it is that because right, like that's like backing them.
But if I could share like a personal sort of like anecdote that like kind of hit me while I was watching the movie, is the scene where he's like where they're sitting at the table and it's like the sister's like, you can be anything you want if you put your mind to it, and he's like, I'm putting my mind to some McDonald's when I'll see it on my plate, and the grandmother like laughed at that. I remember my grandmother had a temper. My grandmother was she was didn't take much for her to like get upset about things.
Talk about it.
But the few times that I remember that I could like make her laugh, like out of her anger, like she'd be like mad about something, and I'll make a joke and she laughs, like gold to me. Like
gold.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit.
I feel the same way. Absolutely.
I thought he was gonna get slapped.
Right. And when the grandmother laughed, I was like, oh.
Right.
It brought me back to those moments that I was like, all right.
My dad was like that. And I revel in those. They even have one where they're like, yo, you were crazy when you were a little kid. I was in church and I told my dad, like, yo, Dad, did you fart? Like loud, and like everybody heard it, but I was just smelling the shit that the church be doing with the what you call this shit. Yeah, crazy. Kids say the darndest thing.
Yo, if I ever have kids, I hope one of them is funny. I just want one funny kid. You know what I'm saying?
If he's not, just throw him in the fucking trash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
You can't
send this motherfucker back. He's the.
You can't be related to me.
Can't be related to me. You don't got no sense of humor. You got to go.
You might be a sociopath.
Right. What's wrong with you little weirdo? Nah. Oh my God.
What you mean you in medical school? Tell a joke.
Yo, get to the next trailer before I say some shit that's gonna get us canceled or some shit like that.
Oh God.
Go for it. We could use the attention.
Morning. Did you hear about what's going on at the gas station?
What's that?
Sorry, but our gas pumps are dry. I'm waiting on the fuel truck to show up.
Estimated $700,000. A witness spotted a green Pinto with a damaged rear end fleeing the bank at approximately 6:20 a.m. this morning.
Did you hear about the bank robbery this morning?
Hell they doing over there?
It's the car.
Hang up.
Oh shit.
Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you.
I had a rich old uncle.
Hey, Charlotte. You're gonna go about your day just like any other day.
Hey, darling.
He said that when he left, all his money would be mine.
What happened to your phone cord?
You're so smart.
If you try anything stupid, I'll shoot you in the face. Understood?
You learn something new that very day. You may not always like it, but it just turns out that way.
Stuck here too.
That's a green Pinto right there, ain't it? I got an idea.
But it just turns out that way.
Jesus Christ, does everybody have a gun?
Well, you learn something new every day.
Just like Bonnie and Clyde.
I want some of that money.
But it just turns out that way. When you think you're so smart, you try to make.
I'm not the bad guy, okay?
You learn something new that very day.
Feel it already, darling.
Well, you learn something new every day.
What's the plan now?
What?
You may not always like it, but it just turns out that way. You learn something new that very day. You learn something new every day.
That looks very interesting and entertaining. My only complaint about the trailer is I wish they didn't show us so much.
Agreed. I feel like I got every key point, but otherwise this is a remarkably fascinating twist on what you would get out of. Like, I don't think I've seen something that is really like this. That's a Western.
It has like a very Quentin Tarantino-esque like vibe.
I was gonna say there's a couple like movies that if I stitch it together, it reminds me of this.
Right, and to Holden's point, the premise of sort of like them recognizing the car and kind of being stuck in this diner where people keep coming in.
Yeah,
had me like that premise alone had me sold. But then they had to show us when everybody had the gun and them taking.
I love that though.
But it's like I would have loved.
But yeah, that's definitely a scene that's like, yo, that makes a movie right there. You know
right,
what I mean?
And them taking the waitress hostage, and like I wish
I wish stabbed him. We even see the part where she stabs him.
Right, and I wish they would have left the tension of them being in the predicament and like who knows how it goes. Like I wish that was the trailer. But
the trailer should have been more building. You're saying like if you were building up the trailer, you would have used the beginning of the movie, like how they get into this jam of ending up at the restaurant as a majority of the trailer, and then end off with those scenes like right before you show too much of showing
nothing that like links how they got out of
like
the
definitely people shouldn't have pulled out guns in that trailer. Like half of them shouldn't. Like they should have left a few surprises. Like maybe have like a person and make it look like it's going to be tense. But everybody that you saw in the trailer had a gun out by the end of the trailer.
Right, and like
I think that speaks towards like the region that they're at. You know what I mean? Like that's fucking Yuma, I guess, for you.
Maybe, but it gives us it gives us too much. Like the tension of the predicament. There may be like some wild shit that happens like later on in the movie, but we never know how they got out of the predicament. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that we would have been like, I need to know what happens. I need to know how they got out of that. But anyway, I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure.
I'm gonna wait till
I'll be checking out all three of these movies. I'm probably gonna go see the last one in theaters to support. You know what I mean?
The last two I'll go see in theaters. The We Grown Now.
Yeah, We Grown Now is definitely going to get seen in theaters. Here goes this week's special treat, guys. I hope you enjoy.
I'm surprised. Maybe you guys did it when I was gone.
This
Borderlands?
is my day of rest, but I'm feeling like something. Hashtag Holy Davidson. Holy Davidson. Feeling very blessed today.
Well, hey there, Counselor Ferry.
It's actually pronounced Harry. It's Taylor Harry. My P is silent. My favorite nephew.
This morning, God told me I'm supposed to empower all the women of the world. God wants you to be pimping? Huh?
That wasn't me. I never answered his prayers.
I'll do anything for you, God. I need you to become a writer.
I don't know nothing about writing.
Do you know what a plot point is?
No.
A good storyline?
Hell no, I never heard that.
She deserves to get half. Half?
You came back to cry? No. Judge said half. Your ass is gonna get half. You think you're gonna get my money when I'm gone? Huh?
Oh, I'm gonna get your money.
You know what you're gonna get? Just gas money.
Shut up and take it like a man.
I didn't know you was gonna go all 50 Shades of Grey on them, brother.
Somebody's gotta watch guys or girls.
Oh, don't worry about that, man. They stay strapped ready for any unwanted police officers.
Just pull the car over before the dude goes to jail.
Ooh, that's a good idea for a sequel.
Is that too much?
What the?
It's like life. The devil's in the details.
Today was a God's day.
That is funny.
Yes and no for me.
That's a hell no for me. That was horrible. I feel sorry for Jamie Foxx and Jasmine Guy. Everyone else gets what they deserve. No. Jamie Foxx, because he doesn't have to be in that movie. Jasmine Guy, because I feel like she didn't know what she was getting into. But everyone else, no.
Yo, let me tell you something. There was like at least 4 other official movies that I could have picked for the 4th trailer. But I picked this
Also,
one. You know why?
Bridgerton
Because
season
I
4.
know for a fact I'm gonna see people talking about this movie in my
Absolutely.
timeline this weekend.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely gonna be wild people that check out this movie in theaters, probably, if it actually is releasing in theaters. They're gonna find it in the limited release theaters that they have it in. And they're gonna go watch it. It's crazy.
The guy that got playing Tyler Perry, the parody guy, isn't like
Tyler
a
Perry.
pull. Well, he just doesn't look funny. You know what I'm saying? Like even dressed up as Tyler Perry and everything, and like he's not selling it in a way that's like, you know, whatever. Two, Jamie Foxx is the most egregious person in this movie because him being in this movie validates the movie. Like you are a Oscar nominated, maybe even Oscar award winning, like fucking. Like you're a revered actor, and that's why they start the movie with him. You know, they're like, we got Jamie Foxx in this movie, just to let you know when you see the rest of this dog shit that we're valid.
Pushback said Mickey Rourke as the devil got me dead.
Yeah, first of all, Mickey Rourke probably doesn't even know what movie he's doing. He probably thinks he is the devil. Mickey Rourke's like the devil. Fucking Vivica Fox washed. Jasmine got
yeah, nah, she been washed.
It's old.
Kyla
it's like
Pratt.
They up for a check.
Kyla Pratt, why are you doing this to yourself? Was that Tisha Arnold in it? Or
yeah. Yep.
It's like, yo, no.
Gina.
Why would you guys say yes to this?
Money.
Also, homeboy from New Girl. I'm like, B, there had to be a better offer on the table.
It was given like once it started, it was like it looks
The
like
guy from New Girl, Dito, yo, they don't. All the people that you just mentioned, I'm like, bro, they like what? They're not getting the opportunities homie from Society of Magical Negroes is getting.
No.
They all have to like be relegated to this.
But you also like you got to be
Jasmine
careful
Guy.
because like when you start doing these movies, then you're looked at as like that actor who does these movies. You know, it almost benefits yourself to like starve and try to find something else.
I mean, I think that maybe they get to this point because
I
this
know.
is it. They get that
Maybe.
point where they're like, yo, if you want to keep working, this might be your best option. This is guaranteed money for the rest of your life.
Where he's like, I am not the new girl anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not fully mad at it. This trailer looks preposterous. Like, I was entertained by the trailer with no desire to watch the movie. But the trailer is so preposterous.
Do you know about Tyler Perry, Holden?
Yes.
Okay.
And the Medea worlds, and I get like the gist of it. I actually was working at a video store when he started. So the original, like, I think it's Family Reunion or something, whatever it was.
Yo, it's so crazy. Like, I'm like, do you know George Foreman? He's like, that shit don't reach up here. I'm like, do you know Medea? He was like, I remember the first one. Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I worked at a video store.
It's a mixed bag.
But like it was a big deal up here too. Like, you know, like, the Tyler Perry debate on whether he's good or bad for black culture is something that is talked about by black folk everywhere. So it got its way up here too. Whereas I don't know what George Foreman has done in the last 40 years aside of being the grill guy.
Facts. No.
This is all I know him for. All I know him for is George Foreman grill.
I can't argue.
Supposed to know him from.
I can't argue with your expertise, Holden. You're absolutely everything you said valid.
I mean, I maybe I should know it more, but then that would be like the bigger conversation of what parts of history are put on blast and stuff and things like that. But
also, no, you don't got to. I'm more impressed at your knowledge of Tyler Perry than I am disappointed by your lack of knowledge.
Tyler
of
Perry's a really significant figure in modern history. He's one of the most successful movie dudes, if I'm not mistaken.
You don't have to win me over anymore. Yes, you're absolutely right. Even your
his content is for me.
Yeah, he's like Family Reunion.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you know that it's not. But what I'm saying is like even your acknowledgement of the sort of the trouble black people have reconciling on whether Tyler Perry is a win or a loss, impressive.
Yeah, because like I mean, he looks like he creates caricatures of black people for white audiences sometimes, and I'm not saying he does that, but
You Holden.
But I worked at a video store. I saw who
Not
rented
wrong.
the movies, and I got the feedback from the clients to my face. So
He also
it was
has
like,
he also has the biggest independent movie studio like in fucking the business, which is like
Absolutely.
a fucking no small feat, especially for a black owned studio. He also almost like single-handedly brought Hollywood to Atlanta, which most Marvel shows,
Absolutely.
I don't know if they still are filmed out of Atlanta. I think they might even
They
be
filmed Endgame, that big scene. They filmed that in his lot.
right. You know, that's fucking
So
huge.
that's huge. But I
also-
also tell people with that being said, like, I'm happy for him. That's a super huge accomplishment. Like, he's also like a trash director, and I would never, like, if I had, 500 million to make a movie, I wouldn't be entrusting fucking Tyler Perry to do anything for it. You know what I mean? His studio, I'd go shoot it at his studio. You know what I mean?
Also,
But like, I wouldn't be like, hey, Tyler Perry, come write this shit for me. Or
Also-
like, hey, Tyler Perry, come develop some of these characters for me.
But also, he gets cast. He gets cast in movies, like big name movies too. He was just in a recently in a big name movie that I saw. What was it? It was like a movie that's like a big movie that he's like has a side role in. But
I'm Googling.
yeah. Do that. Google Tyler Perry movie roles. There's like something very recently.
Oh, he was in
Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa. That's his 2024 cred.
No, that's not the one I seen. What else he got?
Looking for movie list. Damn, he has a lot of movies. Jasmine's Blues. Don't Look Up. Paw Patrol the movie. That's how you know you made it. Those Who You Wish Dead. A Fall from Grace. Nobody's Fool.
No.
Acrimony. This is turning into a Tyler Perry ad. Fair enough.
No.
The Single Moms Club. Yeah, like I'm running through. Just a couple. Brain on Fire. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Out of the Shadows.
I knew he was in
Gone
that. No. Maybe
you're confusing.
Maybe it was Gone Girl. Gone Girl was
He
a
was the
shitty
voice
movie.
of truck
yo.
driver in Paw Patrol, though. That's big. That one is. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle his other stuff, but
Gone Girl with the inflammatory actions. That was the one with the chick that like husband somebody burned down the. Oh no, she was the girl that
she
like
faked
went
her own
missing, faked her death. Yeah.
She's like a
that was an
psychopath.
annoying movie. The actress that played her, she's a psycho. I feel like in real life, there be certain actresses that I'm like, you're not acting. I know you. I can see it in your eye, ma'am. Sharon Stone is one of those. I look at Sharon Stone, I'm like, you fucking cunt. I can tell you're a fucking bloody cunt. You are. You know that? And then I hear about like her being on movie sets and people being like, yeah, Sharon Stone's always talking about being Mensa and how smart she is. And it's like, see, told you. I knew she was a fucking asshole. And the actress from Gone Girl gives me that type of energy.
that's fair. All I have to say, that looks like the people who like Not Another Teen Movie today are gonna want to watch that shit. That's what I thought it was appealing to at first, like the whole parody movie crowd, because there ain't really been a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I think that there will be a lot of people from the back in the days era that are gonna check this movie out because they,
I thought it
because
was
they love
it's
because
Wayans
they
Brothers, I
love
think,
not
that did
another
it.
what is it? Not another teen
Marlon
movie.
Brothers,
Not
something. Not another superhero.
yeah, Marlon Wayne.
all
Yeah,
that shit.
Marlon Wayne brothers.
Yeah, so all of their shit, that's my first thought when I saw that trailer, is this just feels like one of them joints only targeting Tyler Perry. And I think that genre has a lot of fans from back in the day who are very starved for it. So it will get
They
some
stole
attention.
that franchise from them, like the Scary Movie, because that was them. That was theirs, and the studio like jacked them for it. They were like, "Fuck you, Wayne's brothers. We don't need you."
Oh
Make
yeah,
these movies.
Marlon talks about that.
Mhm.
That's wild.
And that's why they kind of stopped doing those.
Yeah,
also, they want to show like a different side of themselves, you know, to show that they have writing beyond fucking parodies.
While I was gone, did you guys review the Borderlands movie or the trailer?
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah, that was the one with this dude from the Eternals.
I know
Ho Chi Man or something like that. I forget his name.
Is Sigourney Weaver in it? Oh no, what's her face? From Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I don't know if we did. My memory is blanking on me.
What's her name? She played in fucking. She played in the Eddie Murphy.
Michelle Yeoh. Oh no.
No. The white woman.
The white woman.
She played in the Eddie Murphy movie with Dan Aykroyd.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Like, is it based off the game?
Yeah, Borderlands.
I'm so glad that I get to do that for somebody else.
Yes, Borderlands.
Then no, we definitely did not review that movie.
Do you play Borderlands?
I used to. That's actually I haven't in a while, but I got pretty deep.
Let's look up when that came out.
Me and my buddy got into a run with it where like we played through like the whole first game together, co-op or whatever, you know. But then like you play the second one, and you have to have really liked the first one to fully really like the second one. And then my understanding is you either at this point love the series and you're gonna play everything they drop, or you're out. And I was out at that point.
Oh no, we didn't.
But I love the stylization of it.
I have it. Check it out. We did not cover it. I have it ready to go the weekend that it is going to come out. You know what I mean?
Nice.
We're still like this shit is still off. It's not till August 9th.
Yeah.
But
you know, that's around the wife's birthday time.
For all the British lovers out there, Bridgerton season 4 is coming out.
Okay.
Just letting the people know. It's trailer time. We didn't watch the trailer, but Bonnie was like, "You guys gonna watch this trailer?" And I'm like, in my head, I was like, "I don't think so." So we shouted it out.
The wife watches Bridgerton. I definitely do not. She watches that when I'm away.
It was I feel like the second season was very trash compared to the first season. Thus, I have no interest in subsequent seasons. There, Flacco's like, you lost me entirely on this one.
What are you guys doing this coming week?
Nothing much.
EOW is back at Karma, our marijuana sponsor, our cannabis sponsor, Kaliva. Shout out to them. We'll be back again to make sure we're all high as balls.
Oh,
they had free pre-rolls and a fucking gun that shot weed smoke in your face, and they'll probably be back with that. Also, Lawyers and Labels is another sponsor that's going to be rocking with us, and they're bringing some artists. Then we also have an artist by the name of Double AB rapping, and who knows, maybe Flacko.
Oh, hey.
Double AB shout out Double AB.
I was just about to say, we interviewed
Perspectives
Double AB,
alumni.
Yeah, maybe I can make it.
You know the deal, Flacco. No pressure, no obligations.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't doing anything, come through, and if you are doing something, have fun.
Yeah, Sunday I needed to recuperate. I fucking got super sloshed.
Super sloshed. Which is worse than regular sloshed. He could have just said, "I got sloshed."
Right, and that gives you the idea.
Right,
but
sloshed is
super sloshed.
I got super sloshed.
Right. Sunday I ended up recuperating the whole day and shit, and I took a nap.
He said my slosh survived the fucking destruction of the planet Krypton.
What you got going on, Bax? Oh, that's right. You just said right. Okay. I got a bunch of nothing going on. Some work and a bunch of nothing. So yeah. What about you, Holden?
I had a song coming out Friday, so y'all can go and watch for that, and then go ahead and share it with your friends. Apparently, don't run it up too much, because we can get in trouble for that now. If we run it up too much, then we can trigger spam bots and get our music fucking profiles pulled down, because Spotify's dark and the world is changing. But share that shit with your peoples.
Crazy. It sounds like,
factual.
Share my music, but please don't share it too much.
Only listen to it one time.
I don't want it to trigger any spam bots. Like, wow.
No,
don't be popular with your music. That's some bullshit.
No, listen to that shit like authentically and share it with all your friends. Like, get lots of your friends to listen to the song is more what I'm saying. That would be the real dream. That being said, I got to prepare for my performance on the 18th because I have an hour-long set. And then I remembered how bad I am at remembering lyrics I haven't performed in a long time. So we gonna be working on I even have to run through that shit.
Oh, you mean you're a typical rapper? Cool.
Yeah. Run through shit. Remember my own shit.
I don't think I've ever met any rapper that's like, yeah, man, like maybe some straight edge sober motherfucker that I've never met. Like, you know what I mean? But like every rapper I've ever met's always like, man, I have not performed that song in a while. I gotta fucking practice it.
Plus,
I don't remember the lyrics.
With a song, homie hit me with a song from like 2019 that I've never performed it, so I'm like, I gotta memorize this, and it's like another me wrote this shit, so I have to like figure it out. It's
right,
a vibe,
right?
And I can't swear.
The old you.
So then I have to go through it all and not cuss. So
wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a vibe, but worth it because it's on some I'm trying to win over the moms of my neighborhood because they are the most powerful street team you can get in modern, actually out there putting up poster type street teams.
Holden trying to
moms.
Shout out
Holden trying to embolden the white women. You know what I mean.
Yes. Yo, trust, they're a workforce.
The white women of Montreal.
That's what all the not-for-profits. You just go to that. If you can get anybody that does the not-for-profit game on your side, watch how free money will show up in your life. It is dope. I digress. Yeah, so I'm excited to get out there and put out the new song. Otherwise, I'm probably just working a bunch because apparently I'm going to Puerto Rico and I want to make sure I don't have to stress nothing.
Boys weekend.
And,
where in Puerto Rico you going?
We're going to Old San Juan, but like we're staying in Old San Juan, in like Old San Juan on the hill with the fucking colorful homes, classic shit. But I'm gonna take them to the west side of the island because that's the side of the island my family's from. Like my whole life when I go to Puerto Rico, it was never to San Juan. You know what I mean? Like it would always be to the other side of the island.
Where on the other side of the island?
Añasco, San Sebastián, shit like that, and Utuado, and like it would always be like, oh, one time I went to San Juan, and it was like the new San Juan, and it was wild quick for like a bakery delivery because one of my uncles owned a bakery out there. So like I never really got to experience San Juan or Puerto Rico on my own without my family all them years. And then during pandemic, after we lost our tickets to Costa Rica, when things opened up a little bit, we ended up going to Puerto Rico and we stayed in New San Juan, me and the wife. And I was just like, wow, Puerto Rico without my family on the city side is wild lit. And I love this. And then I went with the boys and we stood basically 2 blocks from La Perla, bro. And I'm talking about we was at La Perla every fucking night in the littest, dangerous part, and it felt so fucking good. It was like, oh, it's like a party in the Bronx, motherfucker. You know, like we knew, you know, like it was dangerous. You could smell the danger in the air for everybody.
Only dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Smells like home, baby. Smells like home to me. You know what I mean? Walking in further to the dangerous part, like where there is no exit, like where like you'd have to go by like the guys. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Fuck it. We're all right. We're all right.
Flacko, you and your wife are both Puerto Rican?
Nah. The wife is the wife's mother is half Puerto Rican. Her father's from the South. And my father's Puerto Rican.
Do either of you guys have any Lopez's in your family? This is all going somewhere. My last name is Lopez. I'm half Puerto Rican. I don't know a single Puerto Rican person in my family. So whenever I find out people are Puerto Rican, I'm like, yo, do you have any Lopez's in your family? Because we might be related.
We might be related.
It's possible.
I think we do actually.
The only thing I know about my family is that my grandfather was the first president of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. His name was Victor Manuel Lopez. And I'm like, yo, if I could just find another person who has that same fact about their family, I'm like, yo, I found my family. But
right.
I'm like a Feifel in American Tail. I'm just looking for my family.
Also, it's
Yo, shouts out to Feifel, yo. Shouts out to Feifel. I love that fucking Feifel and Secret of the Nim.
Oh, where
Yo, I
Don
just
Bluth.
watched Secret of the Nim.
Don Bluth
that
film.
shit like 2 weeks ago.
Goated cartoons from my childhood.
Also, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All Dogs Go to Heaven's fucking good.
Charlie. All the non, like, don't get it twisted, right? Like, yeah, I love fucking Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid, Lion King and shit and whatnot. But like
Don Bluth,
those are the actual
Land Before Time.
Land Before Time
is epic.
Littlefoot and the Tree Stars, fam.
Yo, I had the first 6 of them joints, bro.
Littlefoot, bro. Littlefoot.
Nah. I only fuck with the original, the first Land Before Time. Everything after that is like.
No, it's pretty solid for a minute. Like, that shit runs. I mean, no, the first like 2-3 bangers, I get how beyond that it gets a bit repetitive, but I'll still stand by the first 6 Land Before Time movies.
Listen, I'm not trying to invalidate it for anybody else. Just for me, the first Land Before Time. There's two American Tales movies, American Tale and Feifel Goes West. After that,
right?
Nothing, you know what I'm saying?
It. I don't got nothing else to do with that.
Just
Secret
the first
of the Nim. Just
Secret
the
of
one.
Nim.
I don't know about any of these, like fucking.
And All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah,
right.
Just the first one.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there who might watch this because it's Mother's Day this weekend, which means I just remembered I'm going to my mom's house.
Let's give love to the Aristocats too while we're at it. You know what I mean?
Aristocats
for all the cat lovers out there.
Shout out to the Aristocats.
Aristocats.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go see my mom, I think, because I just remembered it's Mother's Day, and I will
Shouts
find
out to
something
Mama
to
Ho
give
Ho.
her. We usually get some food.
Okay, you gotta get food. Take her to whatever she loves, bro. Just do that. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to get fucking slick and cute with it. Give the woman what the fuck she likes.
She wants like
and leave it at
one
that.
Of 3 things.
You know what I mean?
3 things she always gets. And trust, like you pull up with some.
I say that out loud
and
really
shit.
for myself. You know what I mean?
But
Because it's like I be on that type of shit. Like,
no,
let's do
I
some
went through
new
that shit too.
They
I
be
went
like,
through that with her.
I don't wanna
One
fucking
year,
do nothing new.
she dead ass was just like, "Yo, get me egg sandwiches from the corner store. That's what the fuck I want." And me and my brother were like, wild confused on how to, because it doesn't seem right. But that's what the fuck she wanted.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Get her what she wants.
That's it. But I'm gonna go probably pop in and visit her on Sunday then and figure that shit out.
Word.
On that note, yo, thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate you being here with us and coming through this whole adventure as we discuss the beefs and other stuff and slowly turning this into a movie discussion podcast this at the second half. So if you got movie buffness to it, share with your friends and let them know that it's more than just the hip-hop. It's the hip-hop and the movies and whatever world events happen that are relatively interesting to a bunch of New Yorkers, because it's got to be interesting to New Yorkers is what I've learned about the topics. On that note.
That's only because we outnumber you 3-1.
Hit the like, the subscribe, everything. And New York's the center of the world for New Yorkers. So you gotta everything you do at the New Yorker, you have to frame it like when you're positioning something like, as a New Yorker, here's the value you'll see in it as a New Yorker, and then you're guaranteed sell.
But that
we can talk about this more on the show
on the after show.
But wait,
sign up at the Patreon if you do want to see the rest of that.
Go ahead.
Patreon.com/perspectives. Anyway,
growing up a New Yorker in the world is like growing up a man underneath the patriarchy. It's not our fault that we've been centered all our lives and now we're indoctrinated into it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the world did this to us. Frank Sinatra did this to us when he sung that goddamn song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said,
I can make it there.
All right, so we're gonna save the rest of this for the after show.
To all the people,
it's up to you.
This Mother's Day who lost their mothers, our hearts go out to you, and don't let that depression sink in too deep. Just wanted to make sure that we said that real quick.
So
thanks.
I know a lot of people don't got their moms, and I know that day is rough. That day is rough. Like when you don't have
Rough
your
as
mom,
fuck,
Christmas
man.
is rough. You know what I mean? And
Right.
shit that only people that don't have their mothers can only understand. So
right.
Shouts out to everybody.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for watching one more time, and live long and prosper, everyone. Thanks for coming through. And since there's still a bunch of people here on the live, we starting the raid.
You not like us. You not like us.